Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hannahcast. My name is Christian, and I probably should say the rebirth of the Hannahcast, the arising of the Hannahcast. And joining me today is our good friend Raphael, who's clearly right here, in this room.
This is me. Don't pay attention to the fact that my lips aren't moving. That's not important. I'm here. Get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, isn't this amazing? And also, I should say, this is the first episode of the Hannahcast with this new setup. We got this new background behind me. We got Hannahcast mugs. I got mine. Raphael has his little mug right
Yep.
here.
Can you feed me some? Can you feed me some drink, bro?
Oh
I'm a
yeah,
little. I'm a
sure,
little.
bro. Here's some drink.
Mm, mm.
I'm gonna pour it.
Thank you.
It's
Oh,
go.
you're drowning me. You're drowning
It's
me. Please
going
stop.
in.
You're drowning me.
But yeah,
That stuff goes right through me.
don't worry. Will Smith Genie will protect you.
Good.
But yeah, guys. Man, whew. This. I've been sitting here for like 6 hours. I think after I got off my shift, it's just like and whatnot. It has been a long day, and it's also been nearly half a year since the last episode of the Hannahcast, and
Yeah.
so much has happened from Joe Biden being sworn in as president, movie theaters are starting to come back, more streaming services are popping up, and we're gonna be talking about some of this stuff. But I think probably the first thing we'll talk about is let's see. I'm trying to think, which do you think we should start off with first? My top 10 best movies of 2020 or the Oscars? Which one do you think we should start off with?
Hmm. Well, I definitely am interested in hearing your top 10 list, and I feel like it's important to start off on a good note, on a good vibe.
Oh yeah,
So
on a good note, huh?
yeah, that's all I'll say about that for
Yeah,
now.
I think we'll get to the bad note here in a bit, but yeah, but yeah, 2020 was probably one of the weakest years for movies we've had in a long time. Definitely in terms of like visual effects and whatnot. But with movie theaters being closed down, and a lot of my most anticipated movies of the year, of that year, like West Side Story, In the Heights, Dune, Black Widow, all that stuff being moved into 2021. Uh, a lot of what I was hoping for really, how do I say it? Oh yeah, do you want me to stop sharing the screen or no? Oh,
Oh yeah, you can.
all right, yeah. I'll just stop the stream. There we go. But yeah. Anyway, guys, um, yeah, let's talk about yeah. Regardless of 2020 and how underwhelming it was, there was still quite a lot of great movies out there. Um, not as many as like let's say like I loved the year 2019 when it came to movies. Like 2019 was such a fantastic year for movies. But even though it's not as even though this wasn't as good as some other years, I still would say there are some great ones out there. And before we get into my top 10 of 2020, I do want to give you guys some honorable mentions. One honorable mention is actually The Invisible Man. Also, you can also give your opinions on these movies, because again, this is all a discussion and whatnot. But
Yeah.
but yeah, one of my honorable mentions was The Invisible Man, a really really cool reimagining of the story of the Invisible Man. Um, you know, I really like how it like modernized it, and if like granted I still haven't seen the Mummy, like the Tom Cruise one, but if I would like to see, you know, the sort of the dark universe kind of go in this direction where it's like remaking classic monster movies, but sort of like this where it's like a little bit more low budget, like Blumhouse and whatnot. What do you think of the Invisible Man?
Well, to be quite honest with you, it wasn't my favorite movie of 2020 by any stretch of the word, but I did think it was a fairly interesting like take on the classic material. I really liked what they I guess did differently from the original, for lack of a better word. But I also really liked the build up and like edge of the seatness of the movie. It really was like more than suspenseful. It was a pretty like, you know, thrilling ride, in my opinion.
Yeah. Uh, like it is,
While also being kind of depressing when you think about it.
and timely, I would also say.
Yeah.
Yeah. There what like, but yeah, like mainly what probably the main reason why it's not my top 10 is like there's like this one scene, I won't say what it is, but it involves someone's knife getting slit, and I'm like someone's throat getting slit, and within the setting I'm just like there should be security cameras, and like what follows after that scene I'm just like there's security cameras that would clearly show that this what comes after this wouldn't actually happen, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, yeah. That's quite a big hole, TBH.
yeah, but like I said, The Invisible Man I thought was a really cool horror movie. Not among my favorite horror movies like Hereditary or Get Out, but still very very
Right.
solid. Uh, Another honorable mention would be Wolf Walkers, like this animated movie that was on Apple TV Plus. But I thought Wolf Walkers was a phenomenal little movie. It was very charming. Same company that did Secret of Kells and Song of the Sea. Wolf Walkers, I thought definitely Wolf Walkers. I'd say is one of the most beautiful, hand drawn animated movies I've ever seen. It is really gorgeous. Did you ever see it?
No, I actually don't believe I have Apple TV Plus. I think my mom might, but I'll definitely check it out.
But yeah, I really liked Wolf Walkers. Another honorable mention for me is The Five Bloods. Didn't quite make it into my list. And it's not as good as it's not Spike Lee's best film. Like I thought, in my opinion, I still cannot get over how amazing Black Klansman is. But The Five Bloods,
Oh yeah.
I would especially I'll get into this a little bit later in the Oscar debate in the Oscar segment. But I thought The Five Bloods is definitely like Spike Lee's most gorgeous looking film, like cinematography wise. It is gorgeous, phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
phenomenal.
I 100% agree
Yeah, phenomenal
with
performances.
the.
Hmm? What are you saying?
I said I agree with that statement. I thought the cinematography was super tight into Five Bloods.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Another honorable mention for me is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. It felt like one of the most play like of the movies of 2020 in a good way. Again, performances were so good, like from Viola Davis and the late Chadwick Boseman. This was a very very fantastic film, and especially has that dialogue that I just love. So yeah. Another honorable mention. What did you think of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom?
Really, really good. I was very, very not surprised, but I guess like sheesh, what's the word I'm looking for? Gosh, I just had a massive brain fart. I guess I'll rephrase it. I really liked Chadwick Boseman in it. I thought it was a very strong sort of not like a send off, but final. Because I'm pretty sure that's the last thing we're ever gonna see him in.
Not,
But
it's not the last
if
thing.
that's the case, I think he. Hmm?
It's not the last thing we're going to see him in. Like he actually is going to be appearing in Disney Plus's Marvel's What If. Like he's going to be. It's going to be one.
Oh yeah, I did. I read about that on Reddit actually. Now that you mention it,
Yeah,
but
he's.
in any case, I think for one of his last works, it was a really strong one to sort of as like a final chapter in his career, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it's easily his best performance I've ever seen. Like he
Yeah, I agree.
like it was like this what like it's one of those performances where it's like you don't think this is gonna end up being his best performance. Sort of like with Heath Ledger as the Joker in The Dark Knight. You don't think that's gonna be
Right.
his best performance, considering it's his last one. It's like what are the odds his last performance is gonna be the best? But wow, he really floored me in that. So Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is again another honorable mention. Another honorable mention would be Mank. I thought Mank was oddly enough, I actually didn't like Mank the first time I saw it. I thought it was kind of boring. But then I decided to watch it a
Yeah,
second.
I think we talked about that when we were watching the Oscars.
Yeah, I didn't care for Mank when I first saw it, but something kind of drew me back into it. I don't know why, but when I rewatched Mank, I thought it was, it was one of those movies where my opinion completely changed. I thought it was a really, really fascinating film the making of, uh, on the making of,
Citizen Kane.
yeah, Citizen Kane, and
Yeah,
like all the production stuff about it was incredible, like the cinematography, the production designing, the sound mixing, the
yeah,
way they made the sound, like the people speaking and whatnot, making it sound like it was from
yeah.
that era. I love that. It was so good. um
I also really enjoyed Gary Oldman's performance
oh,
in Mank.
oh yeah, it's Gary Oldman. I don't think I've ever seen him turn in a bad performance. Like
Oh no, me
he's
neither. And then another thing I really liked was like, they really stuck to the whole black and white thing, and it really, did a lot for this movie.
yeah.
Especially with what it, one of the movies that it kind of is not so much inspired by, because it's 100% inspired by the man behind the film, or the one of the men behind the film.
But it wants to put it in the
But
world.
Citizen Kane and stuff. I thought it was a really nice touch to have the whole thing pretty much be in black and white.
Yeah. And my final honorable mention, which it's sort of like Knives Out and Uncut Gems trying to struggle for that number 10 spot in 2000 in the 2019 list. This one oddly really could struggle with my number 10 pick and whatnot. But right now, as an honorable mention, The Vast of Night. The Vast of Night is if this is some of the kind of science fiction we're going to be getting in in the 2020s, I'm all like, this was so cool. This movie only had a budget of $700,000 and it looks beautiful. Definitely, in my opinion, the best cinematography of the year. Great sound mixing, great sound editing, great film editing. Just a phenomenal movie in general. Like, I can't really give away what it's really about because it's like it's all about this mystery sound. Like the main characters find this sound, and I don't know. It's on Amazon Prime. Did you ever watch The Vast of Night?
No, but I'll definitely check it out. I'm a big fan of sci-fi, so I'll have to give it a watch.
Yeah, again, I was shocked when I found out the movie only cost $700,000. Like, it is insane. It does not look like, especially when there's like this one really long take in the movie, and you would swear it's like, how are they doing this on this budget? Like, again, phenomenal. But anyway, guys, yeah. Now let's get to my top 10 movies of 2020. And we're going to be starting off at number 10 with One Night in Miami. One Night in Miami, I thought, sort of like, sort of like, how do I, like, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. It really felt kind of stage-like, but in a great way. Um, I did not even know that people like Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali even came together. Now, granted, this is more fictionalized, but this night actually did happen in general, where it's like Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Sam Cooke. This is like one of the best ensembles of the year. Like everyone did a phenomenal job, including Leslie Odom Jr. as Sam Cooke. What did you think of One Night Miami, Raphael?
I thought it was really awesome. I really think that everybody in it did a fantastic job, and I really appreciated the kind of liberties that they took in retelling this like sort of epic moment in the civil rights movement, where you had all these civil rights activist leaders coming together. And but yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed One Night in Miami.
Yeah, and also one thing I really loved is how it actually did play into Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali's was their Islam religion. I really
Right, yeah.
I really appreciated that, and again, it's just it really lets you know about these characters a little bit more. And I just again I thought it was really good. There's Bean again. There's the cat. But anyways, yeah, at number 10, that's One Night Miami. Number 9, we have The Father. The Father. This is actually probably the last film I saw before doing the Nerdy Movie Awards because I really need to see The Father. And oh my god, this movie floored me. for one, like this is a movie about Anthony Hopkins' character, and he has Alzheimer's in the movie, and the movie puts you from in the movie puts you in his perspective, meaning meaning the editing is just as confusing as uh, as Anthony Hopkins' character's how he perceives the world. It's insane. Like sometimes his daughter, played by Olivia Colman, will appear as a completely different person, and it's scary. And time moves so weirdly in the film. But again, it's supposed to be, you know, showing you this guy who has Alzheimer's. This is definitely, in my opinion, Anthony Hopkins' best performance I've ever seen from him. He is at times, he simultaneously like commands the screen, but also feels so vulnerable. It's again, it makes me scared of when I'm going to be old. But yeah, did you ever see The Father?
Yeah, I actually did end up catching it the night after we watched the Oscars. Um, Flicked it up on the TV and I watched it, and yeah, it was a very harrowing movie to watch, and it really does kind of, at least for you and me, obviously, it made me also afraid of, like, that inevitability of getting old, unless like I get into some kind of freak accident or something. Um, but like I thought that their sort of interpretation and um portrayal of what it's like to have Alzheimer's was incredibly well done and sort of accurate to like what maybe a lot of people have experienced, watching their parents or grandparents succumb to that disease. And I don't know if I would say that it's Anthony Hopkins' best performance. It's definitely up there for me. I still think that his um his portrayal of Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs is probably one of my favorite Anthony Hopkins performances. I don't know if this tops that. They're very different, so I don't even know if I have room to compare them. But this movie for me is definitely in one of my like top three, nonetheless, like Anthony Hopkins movies, because he really delivered just a bombshell of a performance. Like it was super convincing and also just kind of heartbreaking, honestly.
It is heartbreaking. It really is. Uh, but yeah, that's again. I'm never gonna forget about The Father. And remember when I said actually, well, I'll discuss the production design when we get to the Oscars. But yeah, The Father at number 9. It's phenomenal.
Bro, you're never gonna forget about the father, but you know who's not gonna remember the father?
Oh no, dude,
The
no,
father.
no, dude, what are you doing? That's so mean. No. I mean, granted,
Bro, it's okay.
I guess he's a fictional character. Anthony Hopkins is doing fine.
Yeah, it's okay. The father isn't real. He can't hurt you.
I mean, I'm not concerned about him hurting me. I'm worried about me hurting him unintentionally. I don't know, but
No, I think it goes both ways. We'll be fine.
whatever. I don't know. Oh God, but yeah, yeah. I think that was number 9. The Father. Number 8. I know you've seen this one. Sound of Metal. Sound of
Sound of Metal. Oh yeah.
Oh man, I told you about this movie. Well, I saw it on Prime because I heard that Riz Ahmed and was getting Oscar buzz and The Sound was getting Oscar buzz. And I was like, all right, what is this movie about? This is about a
Bro, I'm
drummer
not
who.
I'm not gonna lie though. It's kind of funny to you. You've seemingly picked like two sort of depressing movies in a row for your top 10 list.
I mean, a lot of. Oh, trust me, dude. Most of the movies on here are depressing when you really think about it. I mean,
God damn.
it's like, but whatever. Like the movies are great, whatever. But I need to get the camera back on me. But yeah, Sound of Metal. This is about a drummer who slowly goes deaf, and and this movie sort of like The Father and how it puts the perspective of having Alzheimer's onto the viewer. In Sound of Metal, the viewer is in the perspective of being deaf, meaning you hear what this guy Riz Ahmed's character hears. Sounds are getting muffled. It's
Or more accurately, what he doesn't hear.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I won't say what else you hear later on in the movie, but all I will say is there's a reason why this movie's called Sound of Metal. And this movie, oh my god, for one, really opened my eyes up to the deaf community. Like, good god, like this is what they have to go through. And granted, I'm not even saying like how I describe it. It's like it's not even really the movie really made me, appreciate how deaf people, view the world. Like they don't view it as like an illness or whatever. I mean, it's limiting, but however, they still find ways to, interact in the world and have, normal
Yeah.
lives. And again, it's just the movie just did such a phenomenal job at putting you in the perspective of being deaf, and it really made me appreciate all of that. And again, this would still be good, but it wouldn't be as amazing as it was had it not been for the sound editing and sound mixing. This is some of the best sound work I've heard in any film. Something this well thought out. Um, and of course, Riz Ahmed's performance is phenomenal. Paul Raci, the guy who played the old deaf guy, he
Yep.
was like I was hoping he would get a nomination for best supporting actor at the Oscars, and luckily he did. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but uh,
Yeah, I actually do have something to say about the Sound of Metal and the Oscars, so I can't wait to get there.
yeah. What'd you think of Sound of Metal?
I loved it. I thought that I was probably just as blown away as you were by the sound design and how they really kind of interpreted for the audience sort of like a sort of taste as to like a perception of losing your hearing, which like not only that but it really just opened your eyes to to what to what some to what deaf people go through, in life, losing a sense, it's not an easy thing. Like I commend people that have been able to get through that process, because like I definitely never ever wish to lose my hearing or sight or anything like that. But I mean, you know, life's full of surprises, isn't it?
Yeah,
But the that movie was really just kind of like the thought of it touched me like deeply. And it kind of again was another one of those movies that kind of scared me, because it made me think like, what would it be like if I lost my hearing? Not to be able to like hear anybody's voice ever again and stuff like that. Like if I, just completely lost it. But it was a super good movie. It made me think. That's one of the things that I also really liked about it. But yeah.
yeah, I completely agree. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, number seven. Number seven, for my top 10 movies of 2020 is The Trial of the Chicago Seven, or as I like to call it, had this movie won Best Picture at the Oscars, it probably would have been 2020's Green Book. But regardless, I thought the Trial of Chicago 7 was phenomenal. Probably the best ensemble of the year. You had people like Yahya Abdul Mateen II, Sacha Baron Cohen, Joseph Gordon Levitt, Michael Keaton, Frank Langella, Eddie Redmayne, Mark Rylance, like so many amazing people in this movie. This was written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, probably one of the best writers working today. Uh, and this movie is sort of like, like, this movie is really timely, really, because this is all about protests and whatnot, and people getting bullied by, like, being beaten by police and whatnot. And well, I mean, in 2020 you saw a lot of that as well. So it's like this movie could not have come at a better time. Uh, it's superbly well written. Love the editing, but yeah, I really liked. I love the Trial of Chicago 7. What'd you think of it?
I really, I really thought it was honestly kind of like a sleeper hit, to be honest, because it was super duper good. Um, but also I really heard like maybe I'm just like not in the right places in terms of like getting movie news, but I had heard almost nothing about it until you actually told me that you had watched it and recommended it to me. But yeah, upon viewing it, not only like I learned something because I really had no idea about not only the movie itself but the things that were portrayed in it, and it was eye opening to say the least. Like it really sort of told a story that sadly isn't in the sense that like things like that still happen today, and it just kind of blows my mind because it's just like you see so many parallels between events today and then the events that like they show you in the trial of the Chicago 7, which is just insane to me.
Yeah, I again, I again, like I said, I really love the trial of the Chicago 7, and I do think this was like this was again very timely, a very timely film that
Oh
we
yeah.
definitely needed for today. So yeah, it's on Netflix, and so check it out. Number six, probably the most depressing movie of the year. That's Pieces of a Woman, which is on Netflix. Um, I don't even know if I can really say. Wait. Holy shit. Martin Scorsese was an executive producer? I didn't even know that. Um, but yeah, you probably don't know what Pieces of a Woman is, do you?
I heard you talking about it. I myself have not seen it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I should even give away what the plot is. All I will say is it's about it's about these characters played by these parents played by Vanessa Kirby and Shia LaBeouf getting ready to have a baby, and that's literally all I will say about it. This movie is sort of like Manchester by the Sea, very emotion driven, like just like bits of emotion just waiting to come out. This movie broke every bone in my body. I was like, oh my god, like this. This would be like the worst thing ever. And again, you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the movie, but oh god, it is uncomfortable. But it is a movie that's like it needs to be uncomfortable. And if it wants to talk about these things, these issues, it needs to go into uncomfortable places. And
Right.
Pieces of a Woman really did do that for me. Ellen Burstyn, I'm just gonna say, really has been completely overlooked in like the award shows. Like she was literally only like the only major award show she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress was the Critics' Choice Awards. Literally nothing else. Like I'm just like, why? She's so good in this movie. I mean, she's not my choice to win, but it's like she probably would have been like second place or something. So yeah, Ellen Burstyn should have gotten more love, but regardless, Pieces of a Woman is just a phenomenal movie. It's on Netflix, so yeah, Vanessa Kirby also. Oh my god, one of the most brave performances I've seen from an actress in a while. Like, good god, it is. I cannot a lot of the movie is on her shoulders, and she needs to make this work, and she luckily she did phenomenal. Again, I'm probably gonna move on to the next movie because again you haven't seen it, but yeah,
Right.
Pieces of a Woman, number six. Number five is Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, which is on. You can find it on HBO Max, at least right now. Um, this movie, this movie is about this 17-year-old girl played by Sydney Flanagan, who needs to get an abortion, and this movie, this is again one of the this is probably one of the most real feeling movies I've seen in 2020. Like, um, I thought, again, Sydney Flanagan probably gave the best performance by an actress of the year in how she felt so natural in this performance. Um, as a guy, this really opened my eyes up to, to, you know, some of the stuff that, you know, women go through, or when, like, you know, the prejudices they go through when trying to get an abortion, or the looks that some people give them. It's like, remember how I was complaining about how shitty Unplanned was? Like, remember when I was talking to you about, did I ever talk to you about Unplanned?
I do not recall.
It's like Unplanned was like this pure flicks abortion movie. You know that's gonna go well.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie actually made me so angry. I like that movie actually pissed me off, like, to no end. I actually snapped. But never really, sometimes always is pretty much the antithesis of that, where it's like it's just like it treats abortion and whatnot like how it is, completely fucking normal, and it's just done so well. It's a really delicate movie, I would also say. But yeah, I don't think you've seen this movie though, right?
No, you were telling me about that when we watched the Oscars too, but yeah, I haven't had a chance to see it.
Oh yeah, again, it's phenomenal. Eliza Hittman did one of the best directing jobs of the year. She really nailed this movie in every way. Like I said, it's on HBO Max, and I would absolutely recommend watching Never Really, Sometimes, Always. Number 4, this is where we get into the more unconventional picks. Number 4, and I know you've seen this one, Borat subsequent movie film.
Oh yeah, a classic.
This was the movie that 2020 needed. Like, we needed.
It was an instant classic.
It really was. Like, and the thing is, I didn't even know I wanted Borat 2. Like, the first Borat I thought was great, but I'm just like, I mean, can you really do that again? Like, can you really, like, there's no way they would ever do.
See, that is one of the questions I had always asked myself since seeing Borat, and as the years went on, it seemed to me, at least, that the answer was no. No, you can't do something like Borat again. Everybody knows, and you can't do it again because everybody knows who you are, and you're not going to be able to fool anybody into doing stupid racist things. But I was completely wrong. I was completely full of shit because he did it.
Not only did you feel you were full of shit, the people he pranked were full of shit. Cause like,
dude, no, he fucking did it again, and even bigger and better, and it was just the kick in the ass that America deserved at that point.
Yeah. Oh my, like, so many amazing things about this movie. Like, for one, like, oh my god, I can't believe he actually, like, I can't believe Sacha Baron Cohen actually, like, stormed into a speech that, at the time, Vice President Mike Pence was giving, and, like...
You're fired.
No, he's like, Michael Penis, I have gift for you. Oh, but...
I have girl for you.
No, I have gift for you. Oh, but apparently, here's the thing about the little backstory on that thing. You know how, like, you know, he was dragged out of that whole thing, and...
Yeah.
Apparently, Secret Service did not ask for his ID. They didn't ask.
Why?
They didn't.
Naturally.
I'm like, why? Like,
they knew who he was, bro. It's just Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, because in case you guys probably, I don't know if you guys have even seen this was in the trailer. That scene was in the trailer. He was like in like a really silly Donald, like Sacha Baron Cohen was in like a really silly Donald Trump.
Oh yeah,
costume.
My bad. I'll do my best not to spoil anymore.
No, I mean technically that wasn't really a spoiler because it was in the trailer.
Yeah.
But like, but there's a lot of shit that is in this movie that I'm just like, oh my god. Like, all I will say is the March for Our Rights rally scene.
Oh man.
That, I was like, because I remember seeing this story in summer, and everyone's like, wait, is that Sacha Baron Cohen? Like, what's he doing pranking people around here? And no one knew it was for Borat 2. Everyone thought, like, he was probably just doing it for fun, or maybe he was doing it for that,
for that TV show.
Oh yeah, Who is America? Which, oh my god, that show got uncomfortable. So, like, really uncomfortable after a while. But it's like...
That show's pretty good.
Oh yeah, oh my god. But... My god, like, the March for Our Rights rally thing was amazing. And yes, the Rudy Giuliani scene is just as shocking and just like, what the fuck? Like, what were, like, it was...
Bro, he was just fixing his microphone. Leave him alone.
Oh my god. again, you guys have to see this movie to believe it. Like the shit that Sacha Baron Cohen does in this movie, I can't believe it. And of course, we can't talk about Borat 2 without talking about Maria Bakalova as Tutar.
Oh yeah, dude. The heart of the movie, if you will.
Not only the heart, but like she did things that I did like that really made that for a newcomer in the Hollywood business. Like she shocked me.
Dude. The I will say nothing else about it, but the dance, bro.
Oh, the dance, Rudy Giuliani, like having to put up with
Yep.
and not only nailing the comedy, nailing the drama as well, keeping her cool when things were going wrong. That like again, we'll talk about her more when we get to the Oscars. But man, Borat subsequent movie film, in terms of just like pure comedies and not like genre bending, like in terms of pure comedies, this is one of the best comedies I've seen in a long, long time. And yeah,
Yeah,
this
and it's definitely a heartfelt comedy at that.
it's heartfelt. It's very gratuitous. It's just like it's
Super family friendly.
oh yeah, super family. Get the kids. I mean, honestly, I think parents should show their kids this to see what exactly was going on in America at that time.
Yeah.
It's just like it's crazy. But yeah, number 4 was Borat's subsequent movie film. Number 3, number 3 is probably my most unconventional pick, which is Christopher Nolan's time-bending thriller Tenet. This movie, this was my most anticipated movie of 2020, and because it's Christopher Nolan, he's my favorite director. What's he going to bring to the table with Tenet? And oh my God, this movie's crazy. Like you're on bath salts watching this movie because it's just like so many things that's going on and it just fucks with your head. Like the way like some character like there's like fight scenes where like one character's fighting in forward time, another character's fighting in reverse. It's actually insane. This is probably the best direction I've seen all year because I don't know how the fuck you do any of this, especially with barely any CG.
It's definitely one of those movies that I think you definitely would benefit from watching like twice at least.
With subtitles, definitely.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I saw this in the theater. This was an incredible sight to have. This is actually my first Christopher Nolan movie I've seen in a theater, and yeah, this is.
See, I didn't get a chance to see Tenet in theaters. I watched it at Stephanie's house. I think the first time. No. I watched it at my own house because she hasn't even. We started it, but she didn't finish it. And then the one and only Christopher Nolan, or no, I guess I've seen 2 Christopher Nolan movies in theaters because I saw Batman Begins, or no, 3 because I think I've seen all 3 of the Batman movies in theaters.
Oh really? I thought you said Dark Knight. I thought you said you saw The Dark Knight like in 2012 or something, unless it was like a re-release.
No, I saw The Dark Knight The Dark Knight. I might not have seen The Dark Knight in theaters, but I saw Batman Begins in the movies for sure. I know I saw those 2. I'm not sure if I saw The Dark Knight in theaters or not.
But yeah, again, considering the scale of Tenet, and again the fact that he barely did any of this with CGI, just really blew.
Oh yeah.
That blew my mind when watching Tenet. Sadly, this is probably Christopher Nolan's like worst rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes. Like it's still good. It's like it still has a good rating, like 60 something percent. But like it was a bit more divisive than even Interstellar, and it's also definitely like his first like big flop. But regardless, I think Tenet is granted. I probably should say flop with an asterisk because it's COVID. It's like no movie. I don't think barely any film did well last year. So it's whatever. But Tenet, phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I think unless it's like releasing on streaming services, it doesn't really do too great.
Even then,
it doesn't do great.
I mean, even then, this movie was like I think this movie would have been way too expensive to put on a streaming service, considering.
Oh yeah.
It's like
I agree.
it had like over 200. Hey Google. What was the budget for Tenet?
Tenet had a budget of $200 million.
All right, $200 million. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's a little bit too much for.
And that's not even like including advertising and stuff, I don't
Oh,
think.
oh no, it's not. But yeah, Tenet, definitely, probably in my opinion, Christopher Nolan's most underrated film. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Uh, I just and like we'll talk more about Tenet once we get to the Oscars. Number
Oh
two,
yeah.
my number two best movie of the year was Soul. Soul, I thought was when I first heard what this movie was, that Soul, what Soul was going to be about. Talking about what happens after death. It like I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be like Pixar's. This is gonna be like one of Pixar's crowning achievements. Like they've never tackled any. Like yeah, they did Coco, but they never did anything like existential like this before. And this movie did not disappoint me. Soul gave me everything I wanted. It had some laughs, it had some really good heart. It was subtle in parts where it needed to be. Even the message of the film itself, which I won't give away, the message was also very, like out of nowhere in the best way possible. Like I didn't expect what the message was going to be in that way, and I thought it was great, great music, great visuals. Like, it's just, oh my god! Even when I thought they were going to do something stupid involving the cat, I thought that was going to end up being stupid, but they did it just enough to where it worked, and didn't make it stupid. What did you think of Soul?
I loved Soul. It was an absolutely heartwarming movie. I think probably my I think I would consider it my favorite animated movie that I saw of 2020.
Oh yeah.
Um, it was, you like you said, you laughed, you cried, and you bopped to some really good music. It had an amazing um, list of songs behind it, and it really kind of was sort of like a very first foray into something like that for Pixar, which was just so amazing to see that they executed it so well. Like I don't think I've seen like a better animated film that really tackles something so like grown up, I guess, for lack of a
Oh,
better term.
absolutely. Yeah, grown up is adult. Like not adult in like the sausage party sense, but adult in like the talking about things that kids won't completely understand until they're older.
Right.
Yeah, this is definitely up there with like some of my favorite Pixar movies. This Soul, oh my god, is phenomenal. I think this is going to be Pete Docter's last film that he's directing, considering he's now running Pixar. And so, if this is his last film that he's directing, then good on you, sir. Like the way
Yeah.
him directing Monsters Inc., then Up, then
He
Inside
really went
Out.
out with a bang.
Oh god, yeah, he really did. So if you guys haven't seen Soul yet, why? It's on Disney Plus. But yeah, I would definitely recommend seeing Soul. Phenomenal film. And let's see if we can
I
try.
guess you could say it has a lot of soul.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm willing to bet you're not going to be able to pick my number one movie of the year because it's so far detached from like any other kind of movie that came out last year.
Norm of the North 4.
I don't even know if that even maybe that exists. I don't know. I know,
Let's hope not.
but I don't think are you gonna be able to guess?
Hmm.
You want me to give you a hint? Okay. Like I said, it's probably the most different movie out of any other movie this year or last year, and also, this also premiered on Disney Plus.
Hmm. Hmm. It's premiered on Disney Plus. Well, I don't think it's Mulan.
No.
Hmm. Gosh diddly darn. No, I don't think I can get it.
Well, I'll be damned. Well, I'll be damned. I can't believe you didn't choose Hamilton. Hamilton.
Fuck. You're Yeah, you're absolutely right. I completely freaking forgot about Hamilton.
Like this movie again, like this movie is so different from any other movie that came out this year, considering it's sort of it's a stage recording of the original show, but
Yep.
oh my god, this film just kept getting better and better every time I watch. Like I watched this like 3 times, and I still can't get the damn soundtrack out of my head because like I used
Yeah, I
to.
was about to ask you, like, so how long has the film soundtrack been like
Oh,
stuck in your brain?
oh, dude, like I used to make jokes about the Hamilton nerds, and now I'm one of them. Like,
Yep.
goddamn, this movie's amazing. It's so worth it. Like, good God, like the way.
It's really good.
Oh my God, yeah, like the way they like they sort of portray the story of America by the people who built it. Again, phenomenal. The songs are all incredible. The performances are all amazing, especially from Christopher Jackson, who plays Washington. Like, good God.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I don't think there was a single track in that movie that I didn't tap my foot to pretty much.
oh my God, it's so good. Like, I like that. Like, again, so many great songs. Again, oh God, it's also really funny. Like Thomas Jefferson is a bastard, but he's wait, was it Thomas Jefferson? What was the one that what was Thomas Jefferson the one that David Diggs played in the second part of it?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson. Like he was really fun. I didn't know. Like I think like basically when it comes to the movie, I think what I'm getting down to is that basic like the basic story is accurate, and like it's overall accurate to how it was back then. It's just they're sort of exaggerating it as a musical, but like at least from what I can tell from this movie, it sounds like Thomas Jefferson was kind of a dick, and but again, I'm trying to figure out ways to describe Hamilton.
Did you did you by chance have a favorite song?
Oh man, that's tough because like I do really like of course there's the track Alexander Hamilton. I mean
Yeah.
that one's always great. I do also really love Washington by Your Side. That one's phenomenal. The room where it happens. Oh God, I love the room where it
Yeah, the
happens.
room where it happens is pretty awesome.
I do also really like My Shot, but there's actually this weirdly enough like the official version of My Shot is not the one I listened to. I listened to like the rock version that I showed you a while ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do really love that version of My Shot. Not that this version of My Shot isn't great too, but I do really like there's I'll probably leave a link or whatever maybe if I remember it, but uh who like okay, I'm just going to have to look up who actually did that cover of My Shot because oh my God, I loved it so much. It's actually I can probably just pull it up on like let me hold on. I gotta make sure I don't play the audio so I don't so I don't get demonetized. It's from this YouTube channel called Night Lives, and I'll show you guys right here. Night Lives. It's this one. Listen to this track. It's so underrated. Like this version of the song, it's so underrated. It only has like 10,000 views, which is sad because it's great. But yeah, I would definitely oopsies. I would definitely suggest checking out that cover of the song. But man, if you guys have still not seen Hamilton, what are you doing with your lives? Hamilton's so good. It's fucking worth it. And now because of Hamilton, In the Heights is now my number one most anticipated movie of 2021. Like, oh my God, Lin-Manuel Miranda, what are you doing to me, man? Like, God.
Yep. In the Heights is gonna be pretty killer.
Yeah. What did you think of Hamilton?
Absolutely loved it. Been loving it. My personal favorite track from Hamilton is probably, I think, The Story of Tonight. Um, but yeah, it's in my opinion one of my favorite musicals I've ever seen. Um, really up there with Les Mis in the terms that while the history that it talks about might be somewhat fictionalized, the setting and stuff is very real, and I think they really do quite a bit with it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Oh my.
that's my opinion on Hamilton.
Oh my. And I forgot another great song that I love. You'll Be Back. Like that.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that is so fun. I've always said if they ever did a movie of Hamilton, the guy I really want them to get like to play King George would be Jim Carrey. I don't know why.
yeah.
I just think he would. I just think he would kill it. Granted, a lot of other actors could too, but if I were casting Hamilton, I'd probably have Jim Carrey play um, uh, King George. But yeah. Anyway, guys, what would you say was your number one movie of the year? Or the ones that you remember?
Hmm. My personal number one. It's a good question. Hmm. Well, I'll tell you which two I was thinking about because it did take me a minute to get this out of my mouth. But I would probably have to give it. Hmm. I see. That's a hard one. I think out of the ones that I've seen, because there are a few movies in 2020 that I didn't see, I'd probably have to give it to The Father, just
Ooh.
because of how like sort of personal the story of that is, especially for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people, because like I had to watch my two of my grandparents succumb to dementia, and it wasn't fun or easy because it's like. Then this is what I really liked about the movie. It really points out that this is a disease that kind of like takes takes the person away from their people, if that makes any sense. But it
Oh.
shows you that from like a point of view that you hopefully would never get to see, which is from the inside of that. But the other movie I was thinking of that I really liked, or well, liked quite a bit, but like honestly, it's not. I don't think it's better than The Father, and honestly, it's not amazing, but it was pretty well done in my opinion. Underwater, I believe it was called,
Oh
with
wow.
freaking the girl from Twilight.
Oh, Kristen Stewart. Huh.
But that was another one that I hadn't heard too much about before watching, and it reminded me quite a bit of Alien, um, which is a good thing because I really like Alien.
Yeah, underwater. Like I'll probably talk about underwater once we get to the Oscars and whatnot. But I'm like
Right.
that was like in terms of like visual effects, they did a phenomenal job with the effects
Yeah,
and whatnot.
it's definitely one of the movies that kind of grew on me. On first viewing, I didn't really like it that much, honestly. But I rewatched it a few times, and the VFX especially. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I did like I did like Underwater. I didn't love it, but I thought it was a good a solid good thriller. Granted, it also
Yeah.
preyed on my fears of being like I could never imagine like there's two things I would hate like there's two things I really fear. One is being crushed to death through pressure like pressure and whatnot. And the other one is drowning. I hate thinking of either of those
Yeah.
things, and just like oh god, that
You
scares
ever
me.
hear like how people say like, "Oh yeah, drowning is supposed to be peaceful."
Peaceful.
Yeah, that's
What
what
the
I'm
fuck are
saying.
you
I'm like,
talking
"You're
about?
peaceful how? You're literally dying."
This movie made me think of going underwater the same way gravity made me did of going space. Not happening. Like no,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. But regardless, yeah. So that was my top 10 of the year. I probably on my part probably should have let you think about this a little bit more. Uh, but
That's all right, man.
but yeah, but yeah, those movies I would all of them I would say check them out. But yeah, but in any case, also, speaking of checking out stuff, why not check out my store? You can, my Teespring store. Go on to teespring.com/store/Christian's Reviews, and you can find a bunch of cool things. I'll probably even send the link to you, Raphael, so you can so you can make, I don't know, make funnies. I don't know, but yeah. God, I'm really trying to just plug this thing off.
I just want to sell. I would like to sell my firstborn child on your website.
Oh wow, really?
$350.
That is amazing, bro.
$350.
Dang. But yeah, you can find all sorts of cool things on this site. Like, you can find stickers. You can find many different kinds of T-shirts with many different designs on them. I even have some for the ladies and whatnot. There's a Christian's Reviews pillow, which I just bought yesterday, and it's gonna be coming at some point. I don't know. You can also buy Make America Cringe Again shirts. Surely not. A parody of the political stuff that was going on last year.
No. Why would it be?
Yeah, of course not. Also, you can buy mugs. In case you guys haven't noticed here, buy the mugs. We have Christian's Reviews mugs. There's one side has
Show
the
them my
Hannahcast.
mug.
What? Oh yeah, your mug. Oh yeah, we gotta show them your mug. But yeah. Oops. Yeah.
Can I have a little drink, please?
Oh yeah. I'll give you a little drink. Hold on. Let me just. There you go. There you go. Drink.
Delicious.
Yeah. But yeah, they come in all sorts of colors. There's pink and blue, but there's also other colors like green. There's also other like so many colors you can think of, people. Also, I forgot to also mention. Oh, let me just, yeah. Also, as you can see right here, I'm wearing this gorgeous looking Christian's Reviews hoodie, which, damn it, shit, yeah, as you can see right here, there's a little Christian Hannah head at the back of the hoodie, so people will know exactly who you're wearing. And also, one thing you can also do is buy what I call the cheeky sweatpants, where for $40 you can get sweatpants that literally has my face on each ass cheek of the sweatpants. And let me tell you, wouldn't you? Wait, I should probably. You guys should probably see this. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, wouldn't you guys want my face on your ass? I know I would. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, Christian. He saw the ass and he was like, "That's free real estate for my face."
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you can literally sit on my face with these cheeky sweatpants again for $40. Granted, that's probably one of the more.
I don't need cheeky sweatpants to sit on your face, Christian.
God damn it, man! Oh, why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me?
You walked right into that.
Yeah, I really should have. But yeah. Anyways, guys, head on over to what was the website again? Shit. Head on over to teespring.com/store/Christian's Reviews, and you can buy all this really cool stuff. And while you're at it, why not head over to my Patreon as well? You can go on to patreon.com/ChristianTylerHannah, and we pretty much just have like this, one tier, $3 a month membership, where you can get the Hannahcast audio only version, bloopers, exclusive Patreon Q&As, your name in my videos, all sorts of really cool stuff. And again, it's only $3 a month. So yeah, if you want to become a Patreon supporter, I would very much appreciate it. And now we can move on to some other topics of interest. You and I both watched the Oscars last week, and
I mean, if that's what you want to call it, sure.
Yeah. This was a very how do I even begin with the Oscars? Because the Oscars I feel like are a very
well, we can do it. We can make it a little game. Okay.
A game?
I mean, kind of a game.
What kind of game?
We're gonna take turns. We're just gonna. You have to choose one word. One word to describe the Oscars that you viewed with me, and then I'll choose one word.
A disaster.
And that can give people an idea of how the Oscars were.
Disaster.
That's a pretty good word. That's a really good word.
What's yours?
If I had to choose a word, that word would be. Oh, that's two words. Nightmare. Nightmare. Nightmare would be my word.
Yeah, like again, I usually love the Oscars. Even in other years where people didn't like them, I still like those Oscars. The Oscars I feel like are a very important piece of cinema history and whatnot. I feel like it gives us an insight as to you know what movies are out there and whatnot that have done some really cool things. Mm.
Yeah. But I learned something this Oscar.
What?
If you win an Oscar and you want to sell it, you have to first offer to sell it to the Oscars
Oh,
for $1.
oh yeah. Yeah, that is really funny. But
Yeah, dude, I think that's the most fucked thing on the planet. I still don't understand what happens to your Oscar if you die.
yeah, I don't know either. But regardless,
If anybody out there knows, please comment. I would like to know.
yeah, please tell him. Please tell this little cartoon lad right here. He really needs it.
Yeah. Tell me what happens to your Oscar if you die.
Yeah,
Does your family get it? Does the Oscars get it back?
but
Please
yeah,
tell me.
yeah. Please tell him. Got a hair in my mouth. But regardless, man, like it was so like it was so sad seeing how the Oscars went this year because they got literally most things wrong in every not even just terms
I'm
of
changing
winning.
my word, baited. That's the word I want to use to describe the Oscars. Baited.
Baited?
Baited.
What do you mean baited?
They gave us the old bait and switch.
I don't really know what's going on when it comes to that, but it's like basically it's just like how do I describe it? Like for one, let's just talk about how they presented the awards and whatnot.
Oh yeah, you mean the lack of
No,
any
like
video?
no clips, no images or anything, just contextless fun facts about the nominees or whatnot, not giving us a reason why we should be rooting for any of them. Now, granted, I am because I did the research, but not the average viewer is not gonna know anything about these things. Like, why should I watch Pinocchio? That live action Pinocchio that they did. Like, what? I'm just like, it's just like, how do I just like. It was really insane. Like, they didn't show clips of the nominees. They didn't show how, or when it comes to visual effects, they didn't show how they did the visual effects. They didn't show anything. It's just like, hey, look, here's little fun facts about the nominees, and then we're just going out to the winner, contextless.
Well, I mean, let's not be too technical. They did show clips for I'm pretty sure exactly one of the categories of nominees.
They basically did clips for things like best picture, best animated feature, foreign language, international feature film.
They needed it was an all or nothing kind of thing. Well, even then, no, because it wasn't an all or nothing kind of thing. It was an all kind of thing. They should have done it for everything.
Yeah,
and they didn't.
And again, no one knows about most of these movies. The Oscars is a chance to show people why they should watch these movies, and they didn't do that.
I understand the whole point is not the entirety of the point isn't to give things exposure, but part of it is definitely to give things exposure. And I think that the best way to do that is to both, they did have something right with giving a bunch of fun facts and stuff about the nominees, but they needed to do that on top of showing you why they were nominated, especially for things like visual effects, best actor, and stuff like that. More so than just the things that they did.
It was insane, and we'll get in, and we'll talk more about what our choices would be later on. But it's let's just talk about how they fucked up the ending of the Oscars.
Oh man,
switching around, because they in case you guys don't know, usually in the Oscars, what's tradition is that, they save Best Picture for last. Makes sense, because it's the biggest award of the night. Who's going to win the best movie? But then, this year, they had it be third to last. Then presented Best Actress, Lead Actress, and then Best Lead Actor. Obviously, since they were doing this, we were all thinking, alright, they're setting up for Chadwick Boseman to win Best Lead Actor, which, here, I'll explain the problems here in a bit with that. But, again, since they were doing that, everyone just assumed, alright, Chadwick Boseman's going to win Best Lead Actor for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And then it went to Anthony Hopkins for The Father, and he wasn't there. I'll explain here in a bit. And then, because Anthony Hopkins wasn't there, they just went, alright, that's the end of the Oscars, goodbye. And I'm just like, what? Like, what? Like, what are they talking? Like, it just ended so anticlimactically, and it's just like, oh, no. Now...
Yeah, it was almost like watching a play, and then, like three-fourths of the way through the play, they just close the curtains, and then it's over, and they don't say anything, and they just turn off all the lights. Or like I don't know if you've seen The Sopranos.
I haven't.
But the finale to that, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it just fades to black at some point, and it's like supposedly really, not even supposedly because I've seen it, it is really anticlimactic. It was like that.
Yeah.
It was incredibly anticlimactic.
It's just like, and the story about this whole thing gets even worse, because basically what happened was that, like, Anthony Hopkins's reps were saying, look, can you, in case Anthony Hopkins wins, can you let him, zoom into the Oscars?
Attend through Zoom, yeah.
Yeah, but then the Academy wouldn't allow it. And so when Anthony Hopkins posted his acceptance speech the next day on his own Instagram page, he, like, not only was he very gracious about the award, but he also paid tribute to Chadwick Boseman, and I'm just like, that, I think, would have made people less angry, because I was thinking there probably are going to be people angry that Chadwick Boseman didn't win Best Lead Actor. But I think, had they just let Anthony Hopkins zoom into that, and he said, gave that tribute to Chadwick Boseman, and the respect that he has for him, it would have made the blowback, way, a lot less. Like, there would have been less blowback. But then... No, the Academy just fucked everything up with that whole thing, and really when you think about it, either way it would have looked bad for the Oscars, because if Chadwick Boseman didn't win, which happened, then the Oscars are caught with their pants down, because then they just set up a climax that didn't happen. But however, if he did win, then people would start to think, are the Oscars rigged? Because how would they know that Chadwick Boseman was going to win? Which, granted, there's no way they couldn't have won, because, because here's the thing, the producers of the Oscars don't know who's going to win. It's the accountants. But there would be those people who would think the Oscars are rigged, because they would assume that the Oscars would have known who was going to win. I mean, am I making sense?
Yeah. Nah, I mean, but, it's just like, that's life, bro. Some people will even tell you that the moon landing was faked.
Some people will tell you that the coronavirus would have been over in, before the summer.
Oh, dude, it never happened. The coronavirus is. What are you talking about?
Please don't say that. That's actually good. That's actually misinformation.
No,
That's
dude,
easy.
Sarcasm. It's just a sarcasm.
No.
I'm not being serious.
No. I know you're not being serious. The problem is, I'm just worried about my viewers thinking you're serious, because people will believe anything. I just don't want to risk any of that.
I'm pretty sure they can't believe it if I said it's sarcasm. It's not serious.
Yeah, no. No, don't worry. I know it's sarcasm. I know, that's your funny
I know.
way.
I'm not saying it for you. I'm saying it for anybody that wants to misconstrue it or anything. It's not serious.
Yeah, but regardless, so the Oscars fucked up their ending, and they've probably they're gonna have people I'm not hopefully the Oscars can bounce back into being respected again, because this was just a bad look for them. This is a bad year for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that one bad, or I mean, it's just, it depends on who you ask. There hasn't just been one bad Oscars, but I guess one really, really bad Oscars I don't think will ruin the whole thing. It's just obvious that this year that, like with everything, it was a really tough year for literally anything. You know.
Yeah, it really was just insanity. But regardless, now let's talk about the nominees and the winners of the Oscars. I'll probably like send you the little link right here. Where's the Discord one? There is Discord. Here you go. Here's the Wikipedia. So yeah. Anyways, guys, we're gonna be talking about our thoughts on the winners and nominees of the Oscars. And I guess do you have it open?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh boy, let's start with probably the weakest category of the year. Best visual effects. Like oops, like wow, this was the most underwhelming visual effects race I've ever seen in my life for the Oscars. Like it was actually like basically the nominees were Love and Monsters, The Midnight Sky, Mulan, The One and Only Ivan, and Tenet. Tenet won, and this I'm just gonna say, like, a Tenet should not have even been nominated. Not because it was a bad movie; it was a phenomenal movie. But oops, let me make sure it was. Yeah, let me make sure it's showing. Yeah, but it's like, what visual effects were in the movie? Like there were like probably like 300 visual effects shots in the movie, which sounds big, but however, Christopher Nolan explained that like most rom-coms have more visual effects shots nowadays, which makes sense because nowadays when it comes to visual effects, you have things like even things like a simple green screen shot or even a cell phone that someone's holding can be a visual effects shot. But it's like with Tenet, it's just like a lot of the stuff they did was so practical that it ended up not like some of the stuff didn't even end up being visual effects. Like for example, what like for example the plane scene where like there's this like one jet plane crashing into a building. That's not a visual effect. That's actually happening. It's not even a model or miniature. That's like an actual full-size plane crashing into a full-size building. At that point, I don't think you can really call that an effect at that point if they're actually doing it. My choice would have easily been The Midnight Sky, which oddly enough I think was the worst movie on that list. But again, visual effects wise, I thought it did like it was doing the most innovative stuff with the effects and whatnot.
Right.
Mulan, I would not have given a nomination to. Again,
I agree with that. I was really kind of surprised to hear that it was even nominated for visual effects or really anything at all.
well, it's like, well, I mean, I could probably understand. I would definitely understand best costume design. Like, I can get behind the costume designing in Mulan.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that. Yeah, sure.
But in terms of visual effects, when it came to the effects in Mulan, it was mostly just it comprised of mainly two things. One, set extensions, which we've seen before, and you'd be shocked to see how many movies employ, set extensions, or that really awful looking avalanche in the movie, which really underwhelmed me because I was like, really? Like, this movie cost $200 million and that avalanche is the best you got?
Yeah, that was one of the things I was kind of going to mention. I was about to say, like, yeah, I mean, I guess it did technically have VFX, but also from what I remember, the VFX that were in it were kind of fucking garbage.
Well, again, like, it's... Again, I wouldn't say all of it was garbage, like, because again, like the set extension stuff, it's good set extensions, but I've seen it before. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's not like, The Lion King that came out, in 2019, where it's like the first photoreal animated movie, or The Irishman and how they were able to
de-aged, yeah.
Like, de-aging the actors without motion capture tracking dots, which was the thing that blew my mind about that movie, or even the movie that I feel like should have gotten a nomination at the Oscars for visual effects last year, Gemini Man. As much as Gemini Man sucks, oh my god, the entirety of young Will Smith was CGI, and there were even many scenes where even young Will Smith, older Will Smith was CGI, and I didn't even notice it. And it's like, that's impressive shit. But yet with that's taking stuff to the next level. But with Mulan, again, it's nothing that groundbreaking. Love and Monsters, I definitely could get behind the visual effects on that. Like, that actually had some really innovative creature designs. The one in Lee Ivan, I thought also had some really good looking photoreal animals and some scenes that were like entirely CGI and I didn't even notice it. That was actually really impressive. But yeah, what do you mainly think of like the visual effects nominees? Like I said, Love and
I was
Monsters.
very surprised by the winner, just like you are. I would not have chosen Mulan to even have been nominated. Um, I personally probably would have chosen Love and Monsters to win.
Oh, you saw
Just
that
if we're
movie?
like, yeah,
Yeah, again,
you told me to catch up on some of these, so I did end up actually watching some of these.
yeah, what like the Boulder Snail apparent like also like in that movie, the Boulder Snail looked incredible in Love and Monsters. Like that
Yeah, yeah, I would have given it to that just because of how like just different it felt than not only everything else on that list, but also like more than some of those movies, it's actual VFX,
yeah, like and
especially more than the movie that won, which is nothing against Tenet
yeah, again,
at all.
again, if anything, the fact that Tenet didn't use visual effects it makes it even more impressive considering the heavy workload and whatnot. But in terms of
Yeah.
yeah, but in terms of just saying best visual effects, I just would not have given it to Tenet. And even in the Visual Effects Society Awards, Tenet didn't win best visual. Like for even the top award of the Visual Effects Society Awards, even Tenet didn't win the top award, which is Outstanding Visual Effects and Photoreal Feature. It was the Midnight Sky, which again, Midnight Sky would have been my choice to win. But yeah, what did you think of? Did you ever see the one in Lee Ivan?
No, I didn't get a chance to see that one.
Oh yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Again, actually there's even a visual effects breakdown on YouTube. You can probably look up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, the one in Lee Ivan again had some again really good effects and whatnot. But yeah, but it went to Tenet and it just kind of cements my one overall issue with the Oscars, which is during the nomination phase, I feel like it's perfect. Each branch nominates their own branch. Like directors nominate directors, actors nominate actors, screenwriters nominate screenwriters, cinematographers nominate cinematographers, and visual effects, and the visual effects branch nominates the visual effects nominees. But that I think is perfect. But once you get to the final voting, it's like everyone votes for everything. And I'm just like, well, what's Jonah Hill gonna know about visual effects that Joe Letteri doesn't know? Joe Letteri, the guy who worked on Lord of the Rings and Avatar or the new Planet of the Apes movies. What's like? Obviously, there's gonna be disparities there because you're going like most of the voting base doesn't know anything about visual effects, and so that's why Tenet won. Tenet won because the people, most of the people in the Oscars don't know anything about visual effects unless they are actual visual effects artists, which it's just again that's just my one overlying problem with
They're
it.
few and far between, yeah. No, but yeah, that's true.
And
I
even
never really thought about it like that, but you're right.
yeah, and even the short list in this year's Oscars was underwhelming because the short list consisted of Birds of Prey, Bloodshot, Love and Monsters, which again I would have nominated, Mank, which if I'm gonna be honest, I loved Mank, but if there's like one issue I had with it, it's like what visual effects were in Mank actually kind of took me out of the movie because it's like, wait, what are these CG animals and the CGI fireplaces doing in a movie that's supposed to be like the Citizen Kane era? Because like
Right.
like I can get over like when you go into like a Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie, you're going into a visual effects spectacular. That's kind of the point. But with Mank, it's just like, why is there like an abundant amount of visual effects here? It becomes distracting for me. The Midnight Sky, which again I agree with. Mulan, I don't agree with. One and Only Ivan, I do agree with. Soul, as much as I love Soul, I wouldn't have given I wouldn't put that in the short list either. Mainly because it's not unlike other animated movies like Nightmare Before Christmas or Toy Story or what was it called or Kubo and the Two Strings, The Lion King that came out a few years ago. Like Soul's not really breaking any new ground in terms of animation, or at least not significant new ground. So there's that. And Tenet, I've already complained about Tenet. And with Welcome, and the final one was Welcome to Chechnya, which I've seen the movie, really good movie, and the fact that they used deepfakes to hide the identities of some of these people, was interesting. But again, it's like, it's not breaking any new ground. The way they're using it is kind of new, but it's like the technology is like, all right, well, I mean, I've seen better deepfakes on YouTube, like, you know, with Jim Carrey in The Shining or whatever, and everyone in their mom's basement has deepfake technology. So I don't understand why Welcome to Chechnya is even in there. Like we talked about earlier. You know, I feel like the fact that Underwater didn't even make it into the short list shocked me because I was like,
Oh yeah, same.
like,
Same actually. I was actually really surprised to see, and like I don't get it. Like, cause like say what you want about Underwater. Like, I've talked to a few people about it, and like you liked it. I remember that, and then my other friend Chad that I talked to, um, or no, was it Chad? I don't remember, but he didn't really like it. And like, yeah, but say what you want, both of the extremes did mention that the VFX were, you know, pretty solid, and I would have to agree, and I really was kind of surprised that like Underwater didn't even make it onto the short list for the VFX nomination.
yeah,
And that to me is crazy.
like Underwater didn't even like it didn't get in the BAFTA shortlist. It wasn't nominated for any Critics' Choice Awards. Even in the Visual Effects Society Awards, it only got one nomination, which was for best or like, outstanding compositing. And the one thing I can think of is that it came out in January. Everyone forgot about it. Even Austin Burke, my friend Austin Burke, on you know, I talked to him about it on Twitter, and he said, "Oh yeah," like when I talked to him about the shortlist, he was like, "Oh yeah, I completely forgot about Underwater. Yeah, why isn't it on there?" And it's like, yeah, everyone forgot about Underwater, and that's probably why it didn't get in the shortlist or even get a nomination. Because even though, in my opinion, it does have some of the most spectacular visual effects work of the year, or should I say maybe some of the only spectacular visual effects work of the year, it's like everyone forgot about it. It literally like just came and went. Like Birds of Prey. I mean, like Birds of Prey. Like what did Birds of Prey do that was anything spectacular? That one Ace Chemicals explosion, the hyena that appeared like 3 times for like maybe a minute each or so, maybe even less. I just don't understand it. Like this is just an awful year for the visual effects race. Like most of the movies that came out in last year's visual effects shortlist would have made it into this year. I should probably move on to another movie, but it's just like another category, but it's just that pissed me off so much to no end. But yeah. Yeah, where is it? Oh yeah. The next category is Best Film Editing, and the nominees were The Father, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7, and the winner ended up being Sound of Metal. What are, like, I'd probably say for me, I wouldn't have nominated Sound of Metal, but I'm not upset over it. I'm not upset over it like I am with Tenet winning Best Visual Effects. Because like so many, like there was like actual competition with the editing category, and so with Sound of Metal winning, I don't really have much to complain over when it comes to that. What'd you think of Sound of Metal winning Best Film Editing, and would it have been your choice, or would you probably have picked something else?
Well, not like I'm not upset about it winning best film editing. I personally probably would have chosen The Father for film editing.
Same.
Me personally, the only one of these that I hadn't seen was Promising Young Woman. But
Oh, I thought you did see Promising Young Woman.
Hmm?
I thought you said you did see Promising Young Woman.
No, I haven't yet.
Huh. All right. Uh, how do I describe it? Like, but yeah, I don't have much to complain over Sound of Metal winning best film editing. I thought it was very well edited. I still would have probably gone for The Father.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, because you know, I would have probably because like how do I describe it? It's like it the film, like the editing in The Father really did how do I describe it? It's like it told a lot more of the story than the editing in than the editing in in Sound of Metal, because with Sound of Metal I thought it was more so the how do I describe it? More of the sound that told the story of Sound of Metal.
Yeah, the sound design.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree, and that's kind of why I would have chosen The Father as well, because I felt like they used the editing as like a tool, not only to like tell a story, but sort of convey a message, and then also like sort of um expand upon a character trait, if that makes sense.
yeah. I mean, because again, like the whole movie about the whole thing about the father was that, um, it's about this this old man who goes through, dementia and Alzheimer's, and we're seeing it from his perspective, and that's why I would have voted for the father to win best film editing. But I'm not sore about this because, again, the competition was, unlike visual effects, this category was really strong in terms of competition. I probably
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't have nominated Nomadland though. Although I'm like one of the few people who like.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. I can't lie.
Mm,
But I mean, it is what it is. I think that the list was definitely more, at least compared to the VFX list, it made more sense.
yeah. But yeah, I guess yeah. That's our thoughts on the film editing category. Best costume design. This okay. There was Emma, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, Mulan, and Pinocchio. I actually, yeah. Weirdly enough, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom was probably my last choice to win best costume design, because you know what my number one choice was, and that was Pinocchio.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
look at this crazy shit, people. Look at these costumes. Like,
yeah. You showed me some pictures, and they really did look neat.
yeah, like the snail lady and whatnot. Like the reason why I would have chosen, Pinocchio for costume design is because like I've never seen anything like this. Like these costumes are unbelievable. Like this is like again the story like the visual effects thing. This is showing me these are costumes I haven't seen before. I haven't seen costumes like these before. This is so imaginative and so cool. I just can't believe the fucking snail lady was all, a costume like that. Again, that just blew me away. Um, but yeah, I probably wouldn't have nominated Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and again, I felt like a lot of the other ones stuck out to me more. Like not only just Pinocchio, but Emma had great costumes. Mank had great costumes. Mulan,
Oh yeah.
I do agree with Mulan's nomination for costume design. But oops. But yeah, yeah. What do you think of the nominees for costume design, and what would have been your choice to win?
Um, Honestly, my choice probably would have been Mank. I hadn't seen Pinocchio, but you showed me pictures, and I don't know. Actually, see, I don't feel like I can pick Pinocchio because I hadn't seen it, but I was really, really impressed by the pictures that you showed me up there, the character costumes and stuff. But I probably would have gone with Mank just because like it's hard to make a period piece. And I feel like that for the most part, especially with the costume design aspect of that movie, they really sold the illusion that they were in the 30s and stuff, and I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah, and plus there were like a lot of costumes in Mank
Oh yeah.
that they had to design all that stuff, and which did make it very impressive. But yeah, I wouldn't have chosen Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I would have gone for Pinocchio, mainly because of how imaginative Pinocchio was. But Pinocchio is a very that version of Pinocchio is very strange. It's a very like you're definitely not going to forget it. Like it's definitely going to be like, what the hell am I watching? Like it's probably maybe the weirdest version of Pinocchio I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, I would
Right.
have given it, and that probably kind of goes into makeup and hairstyling as well, where the nominees were Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Emma, Hillbilly Elegy, Mank, Pinocchio. I would have gone with, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom one. I probably would not have. I probably would have nominated Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, but it would have been my fifth choice.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Emma, I probably would have given that to. Actually, wait, did I nominate Ma Rainey's Black Bottom? Oh, yeah, no. I didn't nominate Emma, and I didn't nominate Mank in the Nerdy Movie Awards. Instead of Emma and Mank, I put in Bill and Ted 3 and Borat's subsequent movie film. But again, once again, I really would have given makeup and hairstyling to Pinocchio. Again, like, good God, people, look at this. This is insane. I can't believe, like, they were able to pull all this cool stuff off with makeup, like making this little wooden boy with makeup. I thought you have had to done that with CGI. But yeah, again, since you're looking at the nominees and winners, which one would have been your choice for makeup and hairstyling?
I honestly would have chosen Borat's subsequent movie film. He looked just like Donald Trump.
Again, like I said, Borat's subsequent movie film wasn't nominated, but
Yeah, I know.
yeah, but actually, I don't even think Borat 2 or Bill and Ted 3 even made it to the short list. I don't think. No, and the weird thing is, I know there was like a big thing online where like people were like, "Why wasn't Birds of Prey nominated for makeup and hairstyling?" I'm like, you assholes! I'm like, you gave me shit for saying Suicide Squad deserved the Oscar for makeup and hairstyling, and yet now with Birds of Prey and its hand-me-down makeup and hairstyling, now you're all for Birds of Prey getting that nomination? I'm like, you...
I don't personally think Birds of Prey deserve a makeup and hairstyling animation, but that's just me.
I mean, yeah, I didn't either. Mainly, again, because it's not really doing much that I haven't seen before. And again, like, everyone gave me shit when I supported Suicide Squad's win for makeup and hairstyling. And now when Birds of Prey, has makeup and hairstyling that was pretty much just, like, not only less of that than Suicide Squad, but was also a hand-me-down from Suicide Squad, I'm just like, come on, people, like, but regardless.
Yeah, I mean, IDK, I wouldn't necessarily go after someone because they said that, like,
I mean,
the Suicide Squad deserved the nod for the makeup and hairstyling, because to be honest, the biggest problem with Suicide Squad was not the makeup and hairstyling, it was the editing, but it's like has really nothing to do with makeup and hairstyling.
Getting trailer editors to edit Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding. Like, that's actually the thing. They actually did that. They actually they actually re-edited the movie because of how successful the trailers were. So they got trailer editors to edit the movie.
I heard about that. I heard about that, and that's why it was probably edited so poorly. But
yeah, like, I was really more saying all that stuff in hyperbole, but it's just like, still, I still would not have given a nomination to Birds of Prey. But regardless. Yeah, I would have easily given that to Pinocchio, but whatever. Cinematography, the nominees were Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, News of the World, Nomadland, and The Trial of Chicago 7. Mank won. Literally the only movie out of these that I would have nominated for cinematography was Mank. Like, no Tenet, no Da 5 Bloods, no, what was it called? The Vast of Night, or...
Yeah, I was actually really surprised that Tenet didn't make it into the best cinematography.
Oh, wait till you hear this. Apparently, Warner Brothers did not have a 4-year consideration push for Tenet, like none whatsoever. Like, which is kind of important because because with all these movies, you gotta remind people what movies are around, and so like they didn't have any kind of for your consideration ads, no for your consideration screeners. They didn't send those to anyone. So like they pretty much gave Tenet no awards. Like, Warner Brothers gave Tenet 0 awards, campaigns, and that's why it literally only got 2 nominations for, production design and visual effects. Because it's like Warner Brothers didn't push it for anything, like. Which is a shame, because I thought, I probably wouldn't have given it the win, but I would have easily nominated Tenet for cinematography and how it would, like how they tried to make that movie look like it was going in reverse sometimes. Like in really, again, it's really strange how they made the movie, but it was phenomenal. Also, but I will say the one that actually did shock me, Da 5 Bloods. Like they didn't nominate Da 5 Bloods. Hello? Hello? I think you're gone.
Yeah, I can hear you. I said, yo, did you not hear me?
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're back now. You kind of clicked out there for a bit.
Oh, okay. What was the last thing you heard from me?
Uh, I didn't hear anything from you when I was kind of going on my spiel about Tenet not getting nominated, and it's and how it didn't get any awards buzz or whatever, or no fear consideration screenings, and I was kind of mentioning some of the other movies that didn't get nominated. I was really shocked that Da 5 Bloods didn't get a nomination for cinematography.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would also have to agree with that. It was really kind of I don't even it didn't make the shortlist, did it?
There's no shortlist for
Oh right,
cinematography.
yeah, that's right. But yeah, no, I mean, the fact that it didn't get nominated is just kind of IDK. I mean, I'm not an expert cinematographer, but I mean, I thought it had kind of a spark to it.
Yeah, I would easily say so too. Because again, other than Mank, a lot of the other movies, I'm just it's kind of just gets the job done cinematography. Like Judas and the Black Messiah, News of the World, Nomadland, and The Trials of Chicago 7. It's not bad cinematography, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's anything spectacular with those movies. Again, Mank, I could probably say so, but it's again, Mank wasn't even it may have been my fourth choice to win, maybe. But it's but yeah, what would have been your overall choice for cinematography?
Given those, I probably would have gone with Mank.
All right. Any comment on any movies that didn't get cinematography that you would probably nominate or vote to win if you had the choice?
Oh yeah, the Five Bloods, honestly.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you. The 5 Bloods looked amazing, but yeah.
Yeah, it really did, and I was really quite surprised, and not in a good way, that it didn't even get nominated.
Yeah, it's insane. But yeah, the next one is production design, and the nominees are The Father, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, News of the World, and Tenet. Mank won. I probably would have given this to Tenet, mainly because of how they constructed the movie in order to serve the way they filmed it, and how reverse and whatnot. Um, but News of the World, I saw that movie. The production design didn't really stand out to me. The Father. Here's why I'm actually not opposed to The Father winning, being nominated for production design, because did you ever notice in The Father that the sets would subtly change
Yeah, as he was getting more progressed into his
into his dimension.
Alzheimer's. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it would always subtly change. And when I found out about The Father, I was like, okay, yeah, this does deserve a nomination. But but yeah, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom had some pretty good production design as well. Trying to think. I'm trying to think of anything else that didn't let. Oh yeah, I probably would have replaced News of the World with Mulan, but regardless, I mean I would have picked Mank. Tenet. I would have picked Tenet to win, but Mank won, so I'm fine with that. What would have been your pick for production design?
I This is a hard one for me because I really like Tenet, and I really liked Mank, and I also really enjoyed The Father. In terms of which one out of all of those, including News of the World and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, that I would have picked to win, I more than likely, such a tough one. I probably would have chosen The Father over Tenet. I again, not that I didn't like Tenet. I thought it was really good,
But like
especially seeing it like the second time.
but like for production.
But I thought that like if and even then, I don't feel like this is too accurate to say, but it's just like definitely my opinion. I feel like the production design was definitely used as more of like a tool in The Father, especially with like how we talked about earlier, how it was like used to show his progression into dementia.
I mean, I don't blame you. Like, The Father had some great, like really well thought out production designing. So yeah. For best, what was it? The next one is best sound. Sadly, they combined sound editing and sound mixing into one category, which I think was a mistake. It like, into just best sound. I feel like it should be sound editing and sound mixing because there's clearly a difference. And if they have different categories for how the film visually looks, like cinematography, costume designing, production design, I feel like there should also be different categories for the sound as well. But regardless, the nominees were Greyhound, Mank, News of the World, Sound of Metal, and Soul. Um, I would have it's kind of hard because like in the nerdy movie awards, I actually did still keep sound editing and sound mixing, so it's kind of hard for me to really figure out what I would lump into one. I I don't think I would have had News of the World been on there. Nothing about News of the World really stood out to me in terms of sound. Um, I once again would have had Tenet on there because like the sound editing in Tenet was really cool, like the sound effects. Um, Even though I don't like the movie, Artemis Fowl I feel like should have been on there for sound. Also, I probably should have also mentioned for visual effects. I would have had Artemis Fowl in for visual effects mainly because of again how new and kind of different like the kinds of effects they were using were. But regardless, for best sound, obviously there was only going to be one winner. It's Sound of Metal, used to serve the story so well, so perfectly, so intuitive, or like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but yeah. What were your thoughts on the on the best sound category?
I agree with the winner from that category for Sound of Metal. I think, like you said, out of all of the choices, short of maybe Soul, it used it. And well, Soul is definitely maybe a close second for me, but it definitely used sound to its not only advantage, as in like showing off the skill of the sound team behind that movie, but also as a storytelling tool to convey to you the struggles of like being deaf and sort of give you an interpretation of the sensation of losing a sensation, which I thought was genius.
Ooh,
And
that's a nice way to put
um,
it.
Mank, I was not too surprised that it got nominated, but I'm kind of like again with how they grouped together like sound editing and mixing and everything else under the sun, I guess, into best sound. I was sort of confused as to why they nominated it. I wish they would have like I don't know specified with each nominee like why they were nominating it, like whether it was specifically for sound mixing or editing, and they still could have lumped it under sound if they really wanted to. But they didn't.
Hey, we're back. Yeah, so we had a few technical issues. Raphael had to get a drink, but yeah, we are back. Are we ready to go, Raphael?
I'm ready. I got my water. So I even got myself a Powerade.
See, I mean, yeah, you have your water right in front of you. It's on your in your pink mug, like the Hannahcast mug, which you
Oh
can,
yeah.
which like I said, guys, you can get at the Hannahcast, like the Christian's reviews, uh, merch store, teespring.com, slash store / Christian's Reviews. You can get a whole bunch of stuff: stickers, shirts, pillows, Make America Cringe Again shirts, mugs, ass pants where you can have my face on your ass cheeks, both of them. And
You
as
can get some. You can get some ass pants for your mom's for Mother's Day.
yeah, I Yeah. Who wouldn't want, like, what mother wouldn't love me on their ass? Ah, God. Oh. Regardless, yeah. Also, like I said, I got a hoodie. I got a hoodie right here. It's a really cool hoodie, and I got mug. I'm drinking water of it. Tastes even better with my mug in it. No, I mean in my mug. Man, I can't speak today. But yeah, guys, like I said, just go to teespring.com/store/Christmas reviews, and you can get a bunch of really cool items and whatnot. So yeah. Regardless, guys, yeah, we're back. We're talking about the Oscars and whatnot. We're at yeah, I think we just finished sound. Now we're going into best original score. All right, so yeah, we're going into best original score, and the nominees were Da 5 Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, and Soul. Da 5 Bloods honestly came across as a surprise to me. I wouldn't have nominated. Actually, out of these, I would have only nominated Soul and Minari. Because I think I would have also put in. I would have put in The Midnight Sky, Tenet, and what would, like, oh yeah, and Pinocchio. I would have nominated Pinocchio for original score. But yeah, but again, the whole Tenet thing. That's definitely due to Warner Brothers not pushing Tenet for any awards. What stands out to you for best original score, Raphael, and which one would you have voted for? What do you think got snubbed?
Well, Tenet through no fault of its own. Um, I think I agree with the picking of Soul for original score. Um, Definitely an honorable mention to Mank
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I really like the score, especially the sort of like I think jazzy is the word I'm looking for.
Like
Kind of
the
feel
old timey
that it
feel to
had.
it. And funny enough,
Huh?
that the old timey like the Citizen Kane kind
Yeah,
of vibe to it. Also, funny enough,
yeah,
Soul and Mank were both composed by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
yeah. I noticed that. Yeah,
Yeah, they got double nominations this year. And
yeah, which was actually kind of wicked. Honestly, that's skill right there.
yeah, I think they also had previously won an original score Oscar for The Social Network. Um, but
Oh yeah, that was a movie about the lizard person,
oh yeah, the Zuckety
the
Zuckerberg.
Zuck, the owner of most people's soul.
Yeah, like I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, he is selling our information.
Yeah, I mean, if people really want to pay for what kind of porn I'm watching, whatever, I still let them,
Oh boy.
but not really.
But yeah, out of these nominees, I would pick Soul. But again, I really think Tenet should have been nominated on there because like Tenet. Again, so much thought went into the music. Like Ludwig Göransson somehow manages to be like this generation's Hans Zimmer or whatever, or John Williams. Like he's finding so many new ways to compose music, whether it's Black Panther or Creed or The Mandalorian or with Tenet. Like he's somehow managing to do all this really cool stuff with music, and how he sort of made the soundtrack of Tenet go backwards sometimes. Did you ever listen to the track Posterity? From
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that from Tenet. So yeah, that's yeah. So regardless, I would have Tenet would have been my overall pick, but Soul for original score out of these nominees, I would probably pick it. For original song, the nominees were "Fight for You" from Judas and the Black Messiah, "Hear My Voice" from the Trial of Chicago 7, Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest: The Story of Fire Saga, and Low C Scene from The Life Ahead. Oh, and Speak Now from One Night Miami. Not gonna lie, the only one I would actually nominate out of these was Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga. And even then, it wasn't even really like one of my top picks. Like I would have I thought Make It Work from the movie Jingle Jangle: A Christmas Journey should have been nominated. I thought, Travis Scott's what was it called? The Plan from Tenet, I think should have gotten a nomination.
I agree with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, which it's so weird knowing that Travis Scott did a song for a Christopher Nolan movie. That's wicked. That's insane. Um,
Yeah.
oh, I've also nominated Never Break from Giving Voice, but my pick overall would have been Make It Work from Jingle Jingle: A Christmas Journey. Um, a lot of these, other than Husavik, none of these songs really stood out to me in particular. Really. So I'm not really that enthusiastic over best original song. What are your thoughts on this?
Um, I again was sort of at a disadvantage at the when original song came. Haven't seen the Eurovision Song Contest: A Story of Fire saga, and I thought the nominations were all right, but that's really it. Like, Hear My Voice from the Trial of the Chicago 7 was pretty good. Um, I think out of all of these, I honestly would have probably gone with um, huh, probably the Speak Now from One Night in Miami. Um, I just, again, having not heard Husavik, I can't really give an opinion on it. But, like, Fight for You, again, I was just kind of underwhelmed by the choices for original song this year.
Yeah, unlike something like 2018, where there was like an abundance of great songs that year, including those from like Mary Poppins Returns or e- uh when Cowboy trades his spurs for wings from the Battle of Buster Scruggs. 2018 was a great year for original songs. This year, I would
Yeah.
also say not so much. We're gonna be
Yeah, this year I kind of heard the nominees, and for the most part I was just like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, it's
But
yeah,
eh.
yeah. Like I said, that's why I actually had only four nominees for original song this year, and yeah, one of them was Husavik, which obviously that means it would have been my pick to win. But again, did you ever listen to the song "Make It Work" from Jingle Jangle: A Christmas Journey?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that. That song was so cool. Like that. Like I really like. I was hoping that would get in there. So whatever. But yeah, we're gonna be skipping over the documentaries and the short films because we've seen practically none of these. I'm only gonna mention international feature film because like I did see another round, but that's mainly because the guy, like the director Thomas Vinterberg, was nominated for best director, and I'll get to that here in a bit. But yeah, oh, did you ever see another round?
No, I didn't get the chance to. I've actually been trying to to watch more of the international films period because I haven't seen too many. Um, I haven't seen any of the ones that were nominated this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, another round is on Hulu. It is on Hulu. Um,
Was Matt Mikkelsen in that?
yeah, yeah, he's in that.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've seen it pop up in my recommended on Hulu.
I will say the ending is great. Like especially with this involving this one song, "What a Life." Um, it is a really cool ending. It's just the movie is pretty good. Nothing spectacular in my opinion, but I mean I'm not. But yeah, there's not really much for me to discuss about international feature film because I've only seen one of them, and even then I thought it was pretty good. Animated feature
Right.
film. We had Onward, Over the Moon, Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, Soul, and Wolfwalkers. Um, I have seen all of these. Um, let's see. Okay, yeah, Soul was really the only movie that was going to win this category. Like it's
Oh
a,
yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
phenomenal
yeah.
movie. Uh, I thought Onward was great. I honestly did not really care for Over the Moon. Oh, I didn't. I don't know if you saw Over the Moon.
I didn't get a chance to know.
Oh yeah, it's on Netflix. Again, like I hate saying this because it's a gorgeous movie to look at, and it does have some really fascinating, um, you know, Chinese, lore and whatnot. But it's just I didn't think it was a very compelling story. I like it was really, really predictable. Like I could literally tell you from the first moment I see this one character, I was like, this person's gonna die, aren't they? And I'm like, yep, literally they die. I'm just like, it's even the cliched kind of death. It's like, come on. I've like, but like, it did not live up to its potential, and that's what disappointed me. Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, I thought was charming. I thought it was really charming. Not quite best animated feature worthy for me, but again, it was charming. Wolfwalkers, I thought was great, and Wolfwalkers I thought was great. Now I will say, even though, uh, like the Oscars this year made a little bit of a change, which again I thought was very is just good. In my opinion, just made things more confusing. Where they actually did allow movies that premiered in early 2021 to run for this year's Oscars instead of just 2020 movies, which again for me is just really confusing. But regardless, since they did have that in place, I would have actually nominated the SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run, the newest SpongeBob movie. I don't know, did you see it?
No, actually, I haven't. The last SpongeBob movie I saw, I think, was Sponge Out of the Water, right?
Yeah, Sponge Out of Water, which I thought was okay. Definitely a lot better than what SpongeBob have been doing at that point. But like,
Right.
but I will say, Sponge on the Run, I would like. It's weird. Like critics seem to like it fine, but people like general audiences just seem to loathe this one, which is weird because I actually thought Sponge on the Run was the best SpongeBob thing to come out since since that first movie and since like the good episode, like those great, like since it was the best SpongeBob had been since Steven Hillenburg left. I thought like
Right.
I thought the new animation style for Sponge on the Run very like actually really helped make the movie more unique in terms of comedy, like visual comedy and whatnot. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was a beautiful movie. Um, I thought the I thought it was really funny. Again, it was just what I was hoping from SpongeBob, and so yeah, I if we're going by the Oscars rules this year, I would have nominated Sponge on the Run, and that's probably why you guys didn't see me nominate it for this year because for this year's Nerdy Movie Awards I still only picked movies that premiered in 2020. But I would be shocked if Sponge on the Run did not end up in my nominations for Best Animated Film in next year's Nerdy Movie Awards. But another movie I would have nominated for animated feature this year, uh, for the Oscars, I would have nominated Scoob, that Scooby Doo movie that came out. That
Yeah.
I really thought that movie like gave me everything I was hoping for a Scooby Doo movie, making fun of itself a little bit. Unbelievable, hilarious animation, beautiful colors, great storyboarding. Um, I would have nominated Scoob, although I'm not shocked it didn't get nominated because it didn't get a very good response. Still a better response than, the other Scooby Doo movies. But I thought Scoob was.
Don't you dare talk about our Lord and Savior Matthew Lillard like that.
I am not bashing Matthew Lillard. He is a god. He is our god. I'm just saying the movie he was in did not live up to Matthew Lillard's potential.
You saved yourself there because you almost could have ended up in a position where you said something that would have required Matthew Lillard to use 1% of his power on you, and you wouldn't want that.
1% of his power. Don't you mean like 0.00001% of his power?
You're right. I was rounding and also testing you to make sure that you knew what the scripture said.
Exactly. That you gotta think 3 steps ahead there, Raphael.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what do you think of the best animated feature race? Which movies did you see? Which ones did you not see? Which one would you have picked? Even though I'm pretty sure I know which one you would have picked to win.
Well, yeah. Obviously, I would have picked Wolfwalkers because I haven't seen it. No, I'm kidding. I would have picked Soul. I think everybody, including yourself, saw that coming. I really, really loved Soul. The animation style, the message that it was trying to, not even trying to, the message that it tackled, which is really one that's kind of, no pun intended, larger than life. It did so very well. It pulled at your heartstrings. It made you laugh, and it was just a really, really well made film. And I'm really glad that it came out amidst all of this, confusion and panic, because it was definitely a needed kind of wholesome thing. But I saw Onward, which I thought was also really, really good and well animated as well. Shaun the Sheep, the movie Farmageddon, I didn't dislike it, but like, if you've seen Wallace and Gromit or any of the other Shaun the Sheep related anythings, you have definitely seen pretty much the extent of the animation prowess of that movie, which isn't a bad thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I love Shaun the Sheep and I love Wallace and Gromit, and I thought Farmageddon was quite good, but I definitely kind of left that movie like sort of almost feeling like if it did make it to the Oscars, that the competition for it was going to be stiff. And this year, at least judging off of the movies that I have seen, it kind of was.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I again I really liked Shaun the Sheep. I wouldn't have nominated it, but it's like I don't know, like this. I don't know. Like I feel like it could have been maybe a little bit more funny. It probably could have been a little funnier. It's like, but again, that's just me. But yeah, but like, of course, everyone knew from a mile away that like some people were actually shocked that Soul was winning. Like people really expected Wolfwalkers to win. Which look, granted, Wolfwalkers I think was the second best animated film of the year. But it's like, why are you shocked about this? Everyone knew that Soul was winning. It's like it's Pixar. Like Pixar rarely. Do you realize like one of the like I think like the last time Pixar got beaten for uh an Oscar was Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse. And I think maybe the last time that happened was maybe when Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit beat Cars. I think that's like the last time that happened after Spider-Verse beating Incredibles 2. But it's like, yeah, are you still there?
No,
Ah, dang, I'm so sorry, bro. But yeah, everyone knew. Like everyone should have seen it coming that um, that Soul was gonna win. For adapted screenplay, the nominees were Borat's subsequent movie film, The Father, Nomadland, One Night Miami, and The White Tiger. Um, I. I wouldn't have nominated Nomadland, but again, keep in mind, people, I'm like one of maybe one of only 5 people on Earth that didn't like Nomadland. But regardless, um, Borat's subsequent movie film. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, The Father did win Best Adapted Screenplay. Borat's subsequent movie film would have been my choice to win. But I mean, I'm not going to complain about The Father winning. The Father was incredibly well written. Same with One Night Miami and The White Tiger. No one's talking about The White Tiger. I saw it on Netflix and I was blown away by The White Tiger. Like, it came out this year, so again, I didn't nominate it. It's gonna be in the running for next year's Nerdy Movie Awards, but oh my god, The White Tiger is so good. May have been, is it my second or third choice? I don't know. My number one choice was still Borat, subsequent movie film, but second place is either The Father or The White Tiger. I don't know, but yeah, what did you think of the nominees? Who do you think won? Which ones did you see and whatnot? So yeah.
Borat got snubbed. Borat got big time snubbed.
I wouldn't say big time stuff because again, like the father, like the
No, 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 yeah. I'm obviously joking. I think that the father winning out over it was really, for me, kind of expected and fair, honestly. There are two very different movies, and I would personally probably admit that I wasn't surprised that the father's taking home the the cake, but I also don't think it's a surprise that I personally would have chosen Borat. Um, I hadn't seen The White Tiger. You said that was on Net.
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, it's on Netflix. What in the world? Uh. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah. There we go.
Wait,
Okay.
hello?
Yeah.
If you're speaking, I can.
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right. Cool. Yeah. For some reason, OBS was kind of freezing a bit, but it looks like everything's okay now. But yeah. The White Tiger is on Netflix. Like I said, it's sort of like The Wolf of Wall Street meets Joker if it were set in India. Like it's just this rise to power. Like it's a rags to riches story in a way that's like holy shit. Like this is it's so good and it's
Right.
so well written. It's like I said, I would like so far it's my favorite movie of 2021 so far. Right behind, Judas and the Black Messiah is currently number 2, and Sponge on the Run is at number 3 right now. But right now, my number 1 movie of the year is currently The White Tiger. I'll expect it to stay in there at number 1, but again, The White Tiger is phenomenal. It is amazing. But I would agree on I would have voted for Borat too, but I'm not gonna complain about The Father because
No, it's a masterpiece.
The Father is so good. So yeah. Again, Nomadland, I didn't care for it, so like, yeah. But the funny thing is, Borat 2 actually won the Writers Guild of America award for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Really?
Yeah, but here's the funny thing: in that awards show, Nomadland and The Father didn't get nominated because the writers weren't part of the Writers Guild of America.
Interesting. Yeah, that is interesting, actually, now that you mention it.
Yeah, so I
I did
guess
not know that.
so. I think that probably means like had Nomadland and had what is it called, The Father not been nominated at the Oscars this year, Borat 2 probably could have won. Which is funny because people were actually surprised that Borat 2 was nominated for adapted screenplay. It's like, adapted from what? But I'm like, well, it's adapted because one, Borat subsequent movie film is a sequel. But not only that, the first film was actually nominated for adapted screenplay too. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, the first Borat was nominated for adapted screenplay because the character of Borat was not an original creation for that movie. He was created for Da Ali G show.
Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned it, I do remember I did hear something about that in a YouTube video I watched about like the origins of Borat and stuff. And yeah, I didn't know that would. But no, that makes sense as to why it would count as an adapted screenplay. Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool. So yeah. Now since we've gotten to adapted screenplay, now let's get to original screenplay. The nominees were Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. The winner was Promising Young Woman, and I'm not going to lie, it was probably the one I would have least chosen to win Best Original Screenplay. Like, my overall choice would have been Soul, but it wasn't nominated, so I uh, I I guess I would have chosen The Trial of the Chicago 7, but yeah, what do you make of the nominees and ultimately the winner for original screenplay?
Um, I my personal choice of winning original screenplay is kind of a hard one. For me, it would probably be between Sound of Metal and The Trial of the Chicago 7. As to which one of those I would choose, for me, probably The Sound of Metal. Honestly,
Oh,
nothing against The Trial of the Chicago 7. It was a really good movie about a really hard subject, but I don't know, something definitely about The Sound of Metal. I think just not that it's like a complicated movie, but the fact that it's not, and it really tells kind of a, to some degree, a story that most everyone can like relate to, because they like, well, not even most everyone, but like I'm sure most people have thought, like, what would it be like if I lost my ability to hear, or maybe they've had a friend who suffered from deafness, or a family member or something.
Like the movie really put you
Um,
the movie really put you in that perspective of being deaf.
yeah,
Yeah, the reason why I would have given it to the Trial of Chicago 7 is because with Sound of Metal, again, yeah, the screenplay was great. I just think like for me, a lot of that movie came like stood out more in terms of like direction and the sound and whatnot.
yeah,
Where for
sound
me,
design too. Yeah,
where with the Trial of Chicago 7, that movie is like Aaron Sorkin porn. Like that's just like all confrontational dialogue, and I love me some confrontational dialogue. But again, I'm not surprised that you chose Sound of Metal. I mean, it's a incredibly written movie. I wish Soul was nominated because I think that would have been my overall choice to win. But again, yeah. But with Promising Young Woman, I feel like the movie honestly, how do I describe it? It was both a little bit too on the nose and also didn't go far enough. I mean, again, it's good. It's a good movie in my opinion, but I feel like, do you know what Promising Young Woman's about?
hmm?
Do you know what Promising Young Woman's about?
I know the vague plot synopsis. Yes.
Yeah, basically it's about this one woman who sort of hunts
Yeah,
rapists,
she wants to get revenge for her friend who was like, well,
raped and
yeah,
killed.
yes.
Yeah, it's like, and again, that's really fascinating. But for me, I feel like a lot of, again, without giving away spoilers, it could have gone further. Like, like when you see movies tackling really uncomfortable subjects, like even though it's a different kind of uncomfortable, something like 12 Years a Slave, I feel like
Right.
that movie got really uncomfortable. Like it did not shy away from anything, and
No.
when it came to the what was in that movie. Whereas with Promising Young Woman, I feel like it was like trying to hide it. It's like, no, I like if you want, like if you're you really want to get the point across as to what this woman believes and like what her cause is, and the fact that they didn't really go all the way with it, I feel like was a little bit underwhelming because I feel like that would have, you know, like I don't know. I feel like
Yeah, no. I can understand what you're saying. It's kind of like a go big or go home kind of thing, you know?
yeah, I feel yeah, that's pretty much it. It should have gone a little bit stronger and went
Mhm.
further with the message, but yeah. Uh, now we get to so we're getting close to the nitty gritty. Best Supporting Actress, and the nominees were Maria Bakalova for Borat's subsequent movie film, Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman for The Father, Amanda Seyfried for Mank, and Yoon Ye Jung for Minari, and which I kind of realized I made a big mistake in the Nerdy Movie Awards because throughout that entire thing I thought it was I thought it was like Ye Jun Tun instead of Ye Jun Yun. I kind of botched that in the Nerdy Movie Awards, but regardless, my choice would have been
It happens, bro. Speaking other languages is hard.
yeah. Yeah, like my choice for best supporting actress would have been Maria Bakalova for Borat's subsequent movie film. Yo Jun Young, Yun Yo Jung for Minari was great. The only one I would really take out, as I would actually replace Amanda Seyfried with Ellen Burstyn for Pieces of a Woman. But yeah, and even though I don't like Hillbilly Elegy, I thought it was a pretty sucky movie. I thought Glenn Close was great in it. I thought she was phenomenal. But yeah, like I said, my choice would have been Maria Bakalova, but I'm not going to complain all that much about Yun Yo Jun for Minari. What about you?
Um, well, my personal choice also would have been Maria Bakalova for Borat's subsequent movie film. I thought that like her chemistry with Sacha Baron Cohen was super duper good. I thought that she brought a lot of like she definitely brought an entirely different sort of like aspect to the movie. Like Sacha Baron Cohen definitely, he brings the funny all of the time, and so does she. But she also brings like some of the more um like heartfelt and heartstring moments of the movie for me. And not only that, but I also thought that it was like really impressive how like they would, for example, both communicate with each other in a foreign language that neither of them spoke, and the fact that she was able to like do that kind of like improv with him was impressive to say the least. Um, I think Olivia Colman was also a really solid choice. I liked her and the father a lot. Um, Amanda Seyfried, I don't think I would take her out personally. I liked her performance as Marion Davies and stuff, but I do not believe I've seen Hillbilly Elegy.
I mean, yeah. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Amanda Seyfried was bad in the movie. She's not bad. Like, I just don't like. For me, like,
Right.
I just didn't feel like the role really
Yeah, and
required a.
that's completely fair. I just disagree. I guess I mean,
No, no, that's
we'll
fine.
agree to disagree.
That's fine. Like I said, Hillbilly Elegy, it sucks. It's pretty much just rednecks getting angry at each other. The movie with
Mm,
like false, senses of like whimsy and whatnot. It's really stupid. But like I said, Glenn Close I thought delivered a great performance within a bad movie. Which, hey, that's the thing. I can say that I thought she was excellent in the movie while just thinking the movie was stupid. But I'm serious. It's almost kind of
right.
comic. It's almost kind of comical how stupid Hillbilly Elegy is. It's like you have to see it for yourself. It's really out there in just the worst way possible, and it's just like, oh my god, like this is, and it's so sad because it came from Ron Howard. Like Ron Howard directed this, and this is it's
Yeah, and he did crap. I forgot the name of the movie.
he did movies like what was it, A Beautiful Life? Wait, or is it like a
Yeah, no, Beautiful Mind. That's the one I was
Beautiful
thinking of.
Mind?
Yeah,
He also did How the Grinch
and
Stole.
Apollo 13 too, right?
I maybe he also did How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and he also did Solo: A Star Wars Story. What?
Mm,
Bean, go away! Like Bean. Can you hear Bean?
yeah,
Oh
sounds
dang.
kind of cute. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, Bean is adorable, but it's just like she likes to talk. But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would have, and also I think another reason why I would have gone for Maria Bakalova for Borat's subsequent movie film is she was somehow like I can't imagine how brave it must have been for her to keep her cool during the Rudy Giuliani scene. Like I cannot imagine being in that position that she was in.
Bro, me neither. And not only that, but like just watching her utter transformation from like the beginning of the film to the end of the film, like she's introduced in what's literally a throwaway line, and I legitimately thought that we were never gonna see her again. And then she comes back and literally becomes like just an inseparable part of the movie, and I think it's great.
Ah, oh god, Bean's like literally. You guys can't see it, but Bean is like literally reaching under my door, just trying to grab shit. It's like it's scary. But and the funny thing about Maria Bakalova is that I thought she was gonna. When the trailers came out, I thought she was gonna be annoying because it's like, oh god, they're bringing in Borat's kid. She's just as wacky as he is. Yuck, yuck. I was kind of worried about that aspect of the movie, but no, she ended up being one of the best aspects of the movie in my opinion. Like she was really funny. And oh yeah, here's a little fun fact you probably didn't know about Borat. That foreign language that they speak. Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Yeah, the foreign
Yeah.
language they speak, it's actually just Hebrew, but with like an Eastern European
Yeah,
accent.
Yiddish. It's called Yiddish.
Yiddish, yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, it's actually kind of funny because he speaks Yiddish to her, and I'm pretty sure she doesn't speak Yiddish and responds in like Romanian or something.
I think I think she is from Hungary or like Hungary or no, no Bolivia, like
Yeah, but she's like a polyglot though. She speaks like 4 languages or something.
Ah, dang. Like, again, Maria Bakalova is just, she, I hope she gets,
Super impressive lady.
yeah, I can't wait to see what she does next, especially since it's so funny how, like, this comedy, this little goofball comedy got her an Oscar nomination, which was,
Yeah, I mean, I really hope it takes her far because she's a super talented actress, in my opinion.
oh yeah, she is. I really want to see more from her. Um,
Mm.
Best Supporting Actor, we have Sacha Baron Cohen for The Trial of Chicago 7, Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, Paul Raci for Sound of Metal, Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah, and Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, and Daniel Kaluuya won. Um, Again, I didn't nominate Daniel Kaluuya because Judas and the Black Messiah is still a 2021 movie, but I have nothing against him winning though. He was really good. My choice out of these would have probably been Paul Raci for Sound of Metal, but even then, he wouldn't. Even Paul Raci wasn't my number one choice for Best Supporting Actor. And you know who that would be?
Who would it be for you?
Delroy Lindo for Da 5 Bloods.
Yeah.
Even though I think the reason why he didn't get nominated is because like Netflix pushed him for like best lead actor, and I just didn't. I think people just got confused because it's like I just don't think Delroy Lindo was a lead in that movie. I don't think the Da 5 Bloods had a discernible lead. It was more of an ensemble piece like Chicago 7, and I think that might have hurt him. But regardless, I think Delroy Lindo would have been my choice. But again, nothing against Daniel Kaluuya. Daniel Kaluuya was phenomenal in the movie. Although I will say it was kind of weird seeing Lakeith Stanfield nominated for supporting actor, even though I would assume he was the lead of that film. I don't know. What are your thoughts on supporting actor? Who was your choice? Who do you think got snubbed or whatever? Yeah.
I personally would have chosen Sacha Baron Cohen for his work in The Trial of Chicago 7
Re-
as
really?
Hoffman. I think he did a great job in that movie. Like, especially since I'm like so used to seeing him in stuff like Borat and Ali G and just nothing that serious, I guess. You know? And he's still able to pull it off. Like the guy is just gifted. Um Other than that, are there any of these that I wouldn't have nominated? I don't. Hmm. Well, I will say this. I also sort of was confused by. I also kind of thought that Daniel Kaluuya was going to be, or at least was like the lead actor in Judas and the Black Messiah and stuff.
Oh no, I was saying Lakeith
But
Stanfield was the lead. Like at least that's what I thought. Considering Lakeith got a supporting actor nomination.
yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. I meant to say that I was confused by like both him and Lakeith being in the nomination for best supporting actor.
Oh wait, you would have nominated, or at least you would have considered Daniel Kaluuya for lead. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh dang! All right. I I think with Daniel Kaluuya, I think it could probably go either way for me. Like again, for me with Delroy Lindo, for me he's just like Delroy Lindo for The 5 Bloods was just so clearly a supporting role.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
mean, I guess when you put it like that, I can kind of see. Yeah.
but again, like out of these nominees, I would have picked Paul Raci for Sound of Metal
Yeah.
because like his performance felt so genuine, especially since like even here's the thing, Paul Raci actually is not deaf. Ah, dang, my looks like my camera's frozen again. Uh, but like uh, I'm gonna put this to camera 3 so I fix everything. You know,
All good.
uh, like what was I about to say? Lakeith. Not Lakeith. Fuck. Paul Raci isn't deaf, but he's actually, like his parents are actually deaf, and so I guess it kind of, it gives him, more of an accurate representation of the deaf community. Yeah. Any final thoughts while I go try to fix the camera so I have enough time?
Um. No, it was interesting to hear that fact about Paul Raci. That I didn't know about his parents actually being deaf. and it kind of makes sense. Not like, but he gave a really thorough and believable performance in Sound of Metal.
That's our thoughts for supporting actor. Now to lead actress. The nominees, the nominees this year were Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Andra Day for The United States versus Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman, Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman, and Frances McDormand for Nomadland. And Frances McDormand won for Nomadland. I'm not gonna yeah, this was a pretty stacked category if I'm gonna be honest. Um, but yeah, yep, okay, yeah, that thing's still frozen. But anyways, I do like. I think Vanessa Kirby may have been my choice to win Best Lead Actress, at least out of these, nominees. But I have no complaints over Frances McDormand winning for Nomadland. What are your thoughts on this?
Um, I also can't say that I have too much of a problem with Frances McDormand winning over Nomadland, or winning with Nomadland. Um, I haven't seen Pieces of a Woman yet. Same with Promising Young Woman. Um, but I think I probably would have chosen Frances McDormand for Nomadland, and but I should also mention that I really did enjoy Viola Davis's performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yeah, I thought Viola Davis was great and nomination worthy. The only reason why, again, for me, she kind of loses a few points because she didn't sing her actual she's playing a singer and she didn't sing.
Yeah. I think we talked about that during the Oscars, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, whereas with Andra Day for the United States versus Billie Holiday, again, I didn't nominate her because it's 2021, not 2020, but regardless, Andra Day really impressed me because she actually did, you know, sing her actual, songs, which really impressed me. But and here's the funny thing, um, Frances McDormand now takes the number 2 spot alone for the most Best Lead Actress wins for the Oscars. Number one being Katharine Hepburn, and I think the only other a person to have 3 lead acting wins was is Daniel Day-Lewis. He's the only other that's really impressive. That in terms of lead acting, the lead acting categories, when Frances McDormand is now in the company of Daniel Day-Lewis and is only surpassed by Katharine Hepburn, which I think probably puts in the conversation if Frances McDormand should be considered one of the best actresses ever. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely up for discussion. So, yeah, I definitely don't have a problem with Frances McDormand winning for Nomadland. Again, I didn't like the movie itself, but, yeah, I thought she was great in it. Anyways, now we get to Best Lead Actor, and this is probably the only category in the entire Oscars this year that I agreed with every single nomination. And that was Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman for Mank, and Stephen Yeun for Minari. Good God, all of these are so good, are such great performances. I would probably put Anthony Hopkins as the winner, as my choice for Best Lead Actor for The Father. Although Chadwick Boseman would probably play a close second, and Riz Ahmed would be a very close third. It is a really tight race. But yeah, what do you think of these choices? Who do you think would you have voted to win, or yeah, or whatever? Yeah.
I agree with you. It was a super tight freaking list this year. I feel no envy for the people that had to choose a winner out of this. But I am gonna have to agree with you that I would have agreed to choose Anthony Hopkins as the winner for his performance in The Father. Um, like I've said about this movie time and time again, it's really, really good, and it hits really hard in places that I didn't think movies as a medium could hit. And not only that, but I just can't imagine how arduous of a process it must have been for Anthony Hopkins to get himself into the mindset to play this kind of character. Um, but I mean, he did it, and he did it really well. Second for me, I probably would have chosen Riz Ahmed second, then Chadwick Boseman, and then Gary Oldman in that order. Not mentioning Stephen Yeun because I haven't seen Minari yet. But I really liked Riz Ahmed's performance in The Sound of Metal. I think that that's also probably another role for where it was probably really emotionally taxing for the actor to get into the sort of right mental space to play the character. But again, he did it, and it was super duper good. I really, you can't say that any of the performances given here in this list were not good. They were all amazing. I just think that Anthony Hopkins definitely had the best.
Yeah, I would have to agree on that. So yeah. Anyways, best director. This. Yeah, the nominees were Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman, and Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. I would have nominated literally none of these people for Best Director. The closest would probably be David Fincher for Mank, but I mean, yeah. His direction was good, but it's like again, I wouldn't have nominated him for Best Director. And I know, I just don't get the hype for Nomadland. I thought, in my opinion, the movie was like really, really boring. Like I get what it was trying to do, trying to show the like this like it's the story how it's not my problem with Nomadland is like I get what it's trying to do. It's like there's not really any kind of narrative. It's really just this woman going around talking to people and whatnot. But for me, it kind of suffers the Boyhood syndrome, where it's just like, yeah, I get that's what you're trying to do, but it's also really boring. It's also like it's just not interesting to watch as a narrative.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. And for me, a lot of that comes into the direction. I don't know. What were your thoughts? I don't think I've ever fully talked to you about Nomadland. Were you finally able to see it?
Yeah, I can definitely see why you'd say that it was boring. I actually enjoyed it, especially Frances McDormand. I thought she delivered a very powerful performance and really kind of carried the movie. Um, not to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, all the other actors are useless, they don't deserve it. Not like that, but I really do think that she went above and beyond for this project. However, with Best Director, I'm kind of confused as to why Florian Zeller and Christopher Nolan were not among those nominated.
I can probably see why Tenet didn't get a nomination, even though Tenet was my choice for Best Director. Christopher Nolan. I could probably see why he didn't get a nomination because I mean, for one, they didn't do any for your consideration screenings or campaign for Tenet. But even then, Tenet was a very divisive film, so I could probably see that. Florian Zeller, I wouldn't have nominated Florian Zeller, but I would say I would put him above any of these other directors. Like for me, I would have
Yeah.
like I would have chosen like maybe again Nolan for Tenet, Pete Docter for Soul. Again, I wouldn't have expected him to get a nomination either.
Right.
Jason Woliner for Borat's subsequent movie film, mainly because of how he was able to
Yeah.
have everyone kept safe and whatnot. But again, I expected that. I would have nominated Eliza Hittman for Never Rarely Sometimes Always, because I thought the way she handled that film was so delicate and was just perfection. And I would have also nominated Darius Martyr from Sound of
Darius
Metal.
Mulder. Yeah, I was about to ask you. So what about Darius Mulder, bro? Because like,
Yeah,
Sound of Metal was a lot of work.
yeah, like trying to get the whole deaf thing right. Again, like I would have given him a nomination, but no, like again, I would. The one thing I'm really confused over is how come Thomas Vinterberg is nominated for Best Director for another round, and yet another round is not nominated for Best Picture. Like
I don't understand. I mean, I guess it was technically nominated for a Best Picture category, like the Best Foreign
but it's not.
Film or whatever.
But it's not an
Yeah,
exclusive
I don't
category.
understand that either.
Yeah, because like you would think that,
Hmm?
I was like you would think a movie that, in a list of any like where the Best Picture category can go up to 10 nominees. I would assume like the best like if you get a nomination for if the movie gets nominated for a nomination for Best Director, well then I mean if you thought it was one of the best directed movies of the year and direction is kind of the most important thing about a movie, it should probably get like an automatic Best Picture nomination, and yet somehow it didn't. I just find it really confusing. I never got. It's sort of like when Cold War got nominated for direction and not Best Picture. Again, I'm not complaining as to whether or not I think it should or shouldn't, based on what I thought of it. But it's like, I just don't understand nominating a movie for Best Director if you're not going to nominate it for Best Picture, considering directing is like the most important thing about a movie. I don't know, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Do you have any closing thoughts on director?
Not really, no.
All right, I guess we move on to finally Best Picture, and the nominees were The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, The Trial of the Chicago 7. Weirdly enough, funny enough, in my I would have probably only nominated like 3 of these. I would have nominated The Father. I would have nominated Sound of Metal, and out of these nominees, The Trial of Chicago 7 would have been my choice to win. But again, it's like Trial of Chicago 7, I think was like what, number 7 or something, and
Yeah.
and it's like even like, which is kind of sad. Like my choice for Best Picture was like literally at number 7. I'll give my brief thoughts on these. Charles, The Father, thought was great, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Judas and the Black Messiah, I thought was also great. Didn't mention it in my top 10 of 2020 because it was, not a 2020 movie. Mank, thought it was great. Wouldn't have nominated it though. Really liked Minari. I liked. I did. Oh yeah, I didn't like Nomadland. I thought that was boring. Again, I didn't. I would not have. If anything, I actually thought, in my opinion, it was probably the worst out of all these Best Picture nominees. In my opinion, Promising Young Woman. I liked, but I wouldn't have given it a Best Picture nomination. Loved Sound of Metal. Loved Trial of Chicago 7. But Nomadland won. I wasn't really that enthusiastic about it, even though I could sort of see that coming. But what are your thoughts on the Best Picture race this year?
Well, I personally don't really understand why Nomadland won Best Picture. I also wouldn't have chosen it again. I didn't hate it. But I think that at least 2 of the other movies on this list for sure, for me, were better than Nomadland, and those 2 off the cusp would be the Father and the Sound of Metal. I definitely enjoyed more than Nomadland, and also Mank. Hadn't seen Minari yet. More Promising Young Woman, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. I also think I had a better time viewing than Nomadland. Out of all of those, which one I would have chosen? Um, huh. That's that's a hard one. But while I think about it, if I did have to replace Nomadland with something, I would throw in Soul instead, and then also put in Pete Docter into the nominations for Best Director. Um, but I think Soul should have taken Nomadland's place in the nominations. Um, as for like what I would have wanted to win, that's kind of a hard one.
I think
It's like, you're caught between a rock and a hard place.
I think I know what you probably would have, like, I don't know, like, judging from, what we were talking about earlier on the podcast, like, I don't know, based on my guess, I think your choice might have been The Father. Because you put it...
See, and, yeah, I mean, you would be close. Well, no, I mean, you'd pretty much be right on the money, but I'll guess I'll tell you what I was choosing. I was kind of stuck between The Sound of Metal and The Father, but I think you're right. I probably would ultimately go with The Father, just because of I mean, I genuinely think it's a fantastic movie, and it really, for me, touches a subject matter that's deep for probably most people, especially if you've dealt with Alzheimer's before, somebody in your family getting that stuff. It's not a good time, and the movie doesn't try to sugarcoat it at all, which I genuinely appreciate. But yeah, that would have been my choice.
Yeah. Also, so yeah, that's basically our thoughts on the Oscars. I think that's gone on for, although I will say, a little fun fact about next year's Oscars. Next year, they're going to be implementing this thing where, there will be a solid 10 Best Picture nominees from now on.
I didn't know about that. That's cool. And also, fun fact about this year's Oscars. So we might have read Best Picture last, but we lied to you. That's not how it happened at the Oscars.
Yeah, actually, no, we did actually discuss that. We actually did discuss the whole thing about them saving lead actor for last,
yeah,
only for it to bite
right,
them in the ass.
Saving the best actor for last.
Man, that
just blows my mind.
That was a really stupid move on their part. That was beyond idiotic. I was like, why did you guys do this? You fucked everything up.
Easily the biggest goof of the Oscar this year.
Oh, this entire Oscars was a goof. The only thing that really wasn't a goof overall was the cameras were better. I like the cameras that they used. That's literally the only.
Yeah.
That's literally the only thing they didn't goof. Well, regardless.
Hey, I mean, at least they gave Tyler Perry an award.
Oh yeah, Tyler. Now you have to call him the Academy Award-winning Tyler Perry.
Academy Award-winning Tyler Perry, Medea.
I mean, granted, it was for this humanitarian award and whatnot. So
Yeah, it wasn't for Medea.
Yeah, that's fine. But now I think it's kind of funny that now you have to now you sort of have to put in even though it's not officially an Oscar, it's still an Academy Award to Tyler Perry. But yeah, now he has Tyler Perry has that little gold man on his shelf. But
Yep.
Yeah, I think since this has gone for quite a while, I think we might. I was going to do some more stuff, but I think since it's already 3 a.m. Or at least where I'm at. I don't know what time it is in Chicago.
It's 2. It's not much earlier.
Yeah, I think we'll probably cut it here. But one thing that you definitely shouldn't cut is, you don't have to cut the line at the Teespring store, which is teespring.com/store/ChristiansReviews. There you can find a bunch of funny, cool things like, stickers, shirts of all sorts of different designs and whatnot, in many different colors. The colors you see on the Teespring site, these aren't the only colors. You can click on any of these and there are multiple colors. Like for example, let's take a look at this this long sleeve T-shirt. You can have this in like baby blue or like powder blue or whatever. You can have it in green. You can have it in yellow. You can have it in.
Do the ass pants come in colors?
Oh, let me check on the ass pants, guys, because the ass pants is where things get really spicy because. Again, we have things like pillows. Again, more stickers. Make America Cringe Again shirts, mugs. Get the mugs. Buy the mugs, people. Buy the mugs. Buy the mugs. They are good quality mugs. But also, yeah, we do have ass pants. If you don't know what ass pants are, basically you get to have sweatpants that have my face on each cheek of the ass of the pants. These can come in like, powder blue, like aqua, yellow, pink, orange. I think that's orange, or is it red? I'm not sure. There's like dark blue, there's like purple, there's regular blue. You want me to send you a link to this, Raphael? You want me to send you a link to the ass pants?
Can you send me a link to some ass pants? I actually need to buy some.
Here's some ass pants, dude. You can sit on my face all you want. And it'll be all.
I might get a pair for each day of the week.
Ooh. I don't know what I'm doing right now. But yeah, you can go to teespring.com/stores/Christians and you can get yourself a whole bunch of really cool merch and whatnot. Hell, as you can see right now, I'm wearing merch right now. Like, I'm wearing this good old this pullover hoodie and whatnot, which which not only has my logo on the front, but also has my head on the back, so that anyone who's standing behind you knows that I'm watching them. But not only that, I also happen to have a Patreon page. For $3 a month, you can get things like the Hannahcast audio-only version, bloopers, Patreon-exclusive Q&As, your name in my videos, or other things and whatnot. I don't know. Who knows? There's a bunch of stuff you can have. We'll try to implement into the Patreon. But yeah, like I said, guys, the Patreon subscription is only $3 a month. That's less than Disney Plus. That's probably less than. I don't know how much of Disney Plus.
That's less than a cup of coffee from Starbucks.
Exactly. It's less
and
than.
And it actually is too, because like the smallest cup of coffee at Starbucks is like $4.95.
Dang, really?
Yeah, it's not even a joke.
Well, good thing I don't drink coffee then.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those things. Like, once you get addicted to coffee, you're just gonna go bankrupt.
Yeah, that's why I'm not. That's why I don't do coffee. I spend I spend money on Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah. Honestly, like I just don't like the taste of coffee. I think that's probably why I never really got into it.
Oh, really?
I do like hot chocolate though. Hot chocolate's pretty good.
Oh yeah, hot chocolate is pretty dope. Like, you gotta have the hot chocolate for the holiday season.
Oh yeah, we got it.
Yeah, funny enough, like in December we actually watched tons of Christmas movies, like almost like nearly every day of the month, including some that we haven't seen before. Like, we watched every single Home Alone movie, and they got so much worse. I didn't even like the first Home Alone all that much. They got so much worse with each installment. Like, even Home Alone.
Yeah, I like vaguely remember the second one. Which one is the one where they like go to his house and then
They all go to his house.
No. But this time it's not. No. There's like this chick, and then there's a trampoline. He does a thing. See, I think it might be the second one.
Wait, I don't think there was
the third one. Joe Pesci is not in it.
Oh well, Joe Pesci stopped being in it. Actually, I think like Joe Pesci and the other guy stopped being in it after after two. Like, after two, that like
I think they made a Yeah, after two. I think you're right.
Yeah, like, oh my, like the fifth one, like, it's like, wow, this, like, The fifth one was like so bad it was funny because it's like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, here's the funny thing: every Home Alone movie, for the most part, has at least one moment. Even some of those shitty, even the really shitty ones go have like one moment that's like ugh. Except for the fifth one, which I think was the final one, which came out in 2012. That one
I'm
was
definitely thinking of Home Alone 3.
oh god, Home Alone like 3, just like Home Alone. For some stupid reason, Home Alone 4, like, actually still tries to say that, oh look, this is Kevin McAllister. Every character is like the same, even though even though they don't look the same at all.
It's
They're
completely different actors.
everything with not only different actors, but like for some reason, all of Kevin's brothers and sisters or whatever don't exist now. For some reason,
Oh yeah.
for some reason,
They did the old post-birth abortion.
oh my god, oh no. And for some reason,
You know.
like, who was the actor that played the character that wasn't Joe Pesci? Like, the other guy? I forget.
Oh, the one with the curly hair.
Yeah, the one with the curly hair.
Yeah, Marvin or whatever.
What, was that Marv? Maybe it was Marv. I don't know. But
No, it might not have been. It's been a few years since I've seen those movies.
yeah, for some reason.
Yeah, it was Marv. Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern. Yeah. For some reason, Daniel Stern's character in Home Alone 4 was played by French Stewart. For some weird reason, I'm just like, why is French Stewart in like French Stewart's like one of those actors where it's like. Where it's just like, oh yeah, he exists. Well, we could probably get him on a budget. It's like, I guess you could probably say the same thing about Daniel Stern now, but it's like, regardless, the movie just got worse and worse. Although even Home Alone 5,
When you want Daniel Stern, but your mom tells you we have Daniel Stern at the house.
oh, that'd be weird. But you know what was the worst thing? At least according to Alex, the worst thing we saw during the Christmas watching movies thing.
What?
The NBC not live musical of The Grinch.
Yeah, I've actually heard some pretty cursed things about that.
Oh, Alex put it best. Alex said there's nothing good in it. Like, it's so horrible. Like, for some reason, Max the dog is like this anthropomorphic. Like, he's like a dude in a costume, and for some reason, he's very weird. Like, for the most part, he's actually played by the same dude who played Jafar's son in Descendants. Or I think he was also in X-Men, the X-Men Days of Future Past, as like not Blink, but he was like the other guy who was with Blink. But it's this dude, Joe, like what was it, Boo Boo? Like his name was Boo Boo something. But regardless, he played Max, and oh my god, he was like it was uncomfortable. Like keep in mind, this is a grown man in a dog costume. And, like, Cindy Lou Who would pet his belly and whatnot. He would get on the floor on his back. It was uncomfortable as shit. Are you still there?
Yeah.
And not only that, but, like, the Grinch also made, like, a COVID joke. He's like, I was social distancing before it was cool. And I'm just like, oh, God, kill me. Like, this thing was...
That's so cringe.
I think, like, I don't know if it's on Peacock. Maybe it's on Peacock or maybe it's on Hulu. I don't know. It was horrible in every sense. Like, good God, this is like easily the worst Grinch thing I ever saw in my life. Alex wasn't even a big fan of the Illumination Grinch. I thought it was decent, but like Alex wasn't even a big fan of the Illumination Grinch, and even Alex thought that this Grinch musical on NBC was like so much worse. It was just awful in every like fucking God. But yeah. I get, man, I really need to finish this up because it's like nearly 3:30.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, like I said, buy the merch, do the Patreon thing. Yeah. Thank you, Raphael.
Less than a cup of coffee. Remember that.
Oh yeah. Wait, what was that? What is that? Is that a reference to something?
The Patreon subscription is less than a cup of Starbucks coffee.
Yeah, it's only $3 a month, and you guys, you get more content. It's great, but yeah, dude, thanks for coming on board.
Thanks for having me.
I don't know when
Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, I don't know when we'll be able to, do this in person or whatnot, because, you're in Chicago right now, and that's like kind of really far away. But like,
Oh yeah, but don't
what?
I said I'll be back. So
Oh, you're kind of muffled right now.
I will be back within the week.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah. Again, thank you for coming along. Like, you make the podcast so much more fun to interact with. And
Oh yeah,
what?
no, thanks for having me. It was a blast being here, talking about Oscars and movies and stuff.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And yeah, the one thing that wasn't fun is the I don't know why camera one is being all stupid and whatnot. Like,
Yeah, it pooped itself. Yeah, IDK, what's up with that, ID?
yeah. But regardless, if I can't get that fixed, I'll probably just hide in the corner and cry myself to sleep. I don't know what I'll do, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a reasonable thing to do, honestly.
But yeah, hopefully I'm gonna try to get these podcasts to you guys out on Mondays. I'm gonna try to record them on Saturdays, edit them on Sundays, and post them on Mondays. I'm hoping that's what I can try to do. I also want to try to have more guests on the Hannahcast. Like, I want to try to get Austin Burke. I want to try to get some more cool people on the podcast. You know, it's there's more collaboration and more people to talk to and whatnot. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this episode of the Hannahcast, and here's hoping the Hannahcast only grows from here, and here's hoping that we can do some great things with the Hannahcast. So anyways, guys, bye!